Morning, everybody. My name is Joy Owango. I'm the Executive Director of the Training Center in Communication. This is a research capacity trust based out of the University of Nairobi. And what we do as a center is support researchers, institutes, and governments on how they can improve their research output and increase their visibility. And this is done through scholarly and science communication. And in scholarly communication, it is also showing them and guiding researchers on how they can use various open access research solutions for research discovery, and also how these research solutions can support them in the writing process, especially when it comes to scientific writing. So key to today's training will be two of those aspects. So research discovery, one at a multidisciplinary level, the other for social sciences and arts and humanities. And finally, using an AI tool to support you in academic writing. All right, academic writing, and also helping in summarizing your article so that you can improve how you write your scientific papers. So to begin with, we are going to talk about dimensions. And the interesting thing about dimensions is that it is an open access research discovery solution, which is used for, as I said, it's an open access research discovery solution, which is used by by researchers, especially when they are going through their research discovery process as they are writing their papers or even working on proposals. Now, think Google Scholar, but a better version, much better version. If some of you have been going through paywalls, think Web of Science, think Scopus, but a better version, okay? This is 100% free. Now, the good thing about Dimensions, it helps you identify journals. It helps mitigate predatory publishing, so you identify journals where you can publish in. It also guides you on where you can get granting information. It also shows you who are the top cited researchers, so that even when you're doing a research discovery, you get this information much easier. And the reason for this is because as a researcher, you go through about hundreds of papers. You go through hundreds of papers before you narrow down to one particular paper that you intend to use, or the papers you intend to use for publishing. And because of that, you find yourself missing out on quite a number of publications. So now, when you use Dimensions, you're able to mitigate that, because first of all, you're going to get not only granting information, you'll find where you can publish, which is the most important thing. You'll also find where you can get, as I said, granting information, and also how the information you can use for your research discovery. And as I said, it's extremely multidisciplinary. So first things first, I want to show you how you can access it within your library. Your contact person within JKUAT is Dr. Rosemary Mangira. She's your chief librarian. She's in the head. She's based at the Juja campus. So number one, please keep that, Dr. Rosemary Mangira. And I'll show you how you can access Dimensions within your library and how you can use it. Please note, this is not the first training we are hosting for JKUAT. This is the second training we are hosting. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen and then take you through how you can access it within your library. That is part one, and how you can use Dimensions. And feel free to stop me if you feel like I'm going a bit too fast, okay? Let me pin myself. So first things first, how do you get to your library? So hands up if any of you have gone to your library. Just put in the chat. How many of you have actually visited your university library? Not physically, online. How many of you have done it? Yes, Esther, I can see that. How many of you? Yes. Yes. Are you trying to tell me out of 200 people, yes, 3 people have gone into your library? Only 3 people have gone into your library. 4.
Doing it with your phone.
You have managed.
Please mute your calls. If you're on the call, please mute. Okay. So first things first, these are resources you find within your library. This issue of going to Google Scholar is not going to help you, to be honest, because you're going to be a bit shortchanged when you're going through your research discovery. So now, let me take you through how you can access your library. So, I'm getting there. Hold on. Okay, so go to your library. I actually have access to your library, and it's open to everyone. You see, it's JKUAT library. Let's start from there. For the rest of you who haven't for the rest of you who haven't gone to the library, let me just open it again. Please mute when you get in. Kindly mute when you're getting in.
Joy, we have started.
Yes, we've started. Kindly mute when you get in. So for those of you who have not gone into your university library, this is how you access it. As I said, you're over 230, and I'm seeing like a handful of you have gone into the university library.
Joy, we are expecting a little bit more. I wanted to say we...
Don't worry, we can repeat what is left out.
Very
It's
good,
okay.
very good.
Yeah, we have the team here on standby. And the good thing is that we're recording, so they will also have access to this. We received 527, sir, so I'm definitely prepared for that. So, as I said, first things first, please go to the library. Can all of you click on that, whether it's on your phone, when it's on the computer, click on that. Because your resource person is Dr. Roslyn Mangira, not Rosemary, Roslyn Mangira, okay? So it is through her that she will guide you on how you can access dimensions. Are you seeing this bit that is written new? Okay, she even put it at the top. Click on this. Because you have access to your library, you'll see it will take you to the Research for Life portal. Dr. Roslyn Mangira already has preset the links, the password, so that you can access it. Okay, so immediately you go into this portal, just click on content and click on databases. That's it. When you click on content and databases, you'll get a whole list of solutions you can work with. You'll start seeing African Journals Online, CABI abstracts, and the likes, and it is listed alphabetically. All right. Then when you click, when you go through that list, you will see dimensions. Okay, and this is why. So let me just go back. Are you seeing that? Click on this. Click on this page. It will take you to the Research for Life, where Dr. Roslyn Mangira has already preset your passwords. All you need to do is point and get into the Research for Life platform. Okay, and then when you click on when you get into the Research for Life platform, the next thing you do is click on content. When you click on content, you'll see databases. Click on databases. You'll see a whole list of databases that are there. Within that database is dimensions. Okay, now, once you click dimensions, this is what you're going to see. And I'm beginning now the presentation.
Sorry, but I'm not able to access this.
Some of you cannot access it. As I was saying, to begin with, let's start with Dr. Roslyn Mangira. She's your point person. So if you don't have access to it, it means that you don't have access to the library. If you have access to the library, and if you're using are you using your JKUAT email?
No.
Yes, that's the thing. You need to use your JKUAT email, because it is set to go with the JKUAT emails. It is because it is set, the password is for JKUAT. All those, the username and password, if you don't have access to it, as I said, start with Dr. Roslyn Mangira. Reach out to her. So let me go back again to that page. Okay. Let me go back to that page. Are you seeing this? Are you seeing her? Dr. Roslyn Mangira?
Yes.
Hands up. Yes. She is your contact person. So she's the librarian. Just go to they normally have a contact for the librarian on this page. Please mute your emails. Please mute your calls, please. Kindly mute your calls. Okay. Before the session is over, I'm going to put Dr. Roslyn Mangira's email address here, even her cell phone number. This lady is 100% accessible. And again, if you want to access the information here that is embedded here, you need to use your JKUAT email, because it is set to go with the JKUAT emails. And those are some of the things that when you are registering at the university, they gave you an email address for the university. Not to use your Gmail, because some of this information that you're supposed to access needs to be accessed officially using your email addresses. Okay, so Once you click on this, you'll get automatically, I'm just going back to that page again. The reason why I can't access this, if all of you are receiving this blank page, is because I'm not using the JKUAT email. Those of you who have the JKUAT email already have a preset username and password saved on this page. That is the first thing you're going to notice. When you click on the login, click on content, then click on databases. But first things first, if this is still going to be a challenge, go to Dr. Rosalind Mangira. As I said before we are done with the session, I'm going to make sure that you have Dr. Rosalind Mangira's email address and cell phone number, and you reach out to her. All these are accessible within your library. Now, so I'm seeing questions that how about from other universities? From other universities, now the same process, work with your library. So if those of you who are not from JKUAT list, tell me which university you're in, then I'll tell you the librarian you need to work with, okay? Because all these are embedded within the universities. As TCC, we launched this nationally in June in 2021. Cambry has it. Yes, we will give you the librarian, the knowledge manager for Cambry. Who is saying that they can't hear me? That is Gabriel. Kibabi, we've done this training quite a number of times. You have access. Multimedia also has access. All UN, surely you have access. Cambridge, you also have access because you're a government institution. So you talk to your librarian. First things first, talk to your librarian or knowledge manager. They have this information. All of them have this information. That's why for JKUAT, for the purposes of JKUAT, is Dr. Rosalind Mangira, because Kisii University also have it. So Dr. Rosalind Mangira, yes, you've been a student at JKUAT without the email. Again, Dr. Mangira's office will help you get that. Remember, before even I get into this training, remember the nerve center of a library, Maseno has it. Actually, our trainer, Dr. Outa, is Maseno University. They have it, and he's trained in Maseno University so many times on this. So remember, colleagues, the nerve center of a library, of the university, is the library. You want your email address set up, it is the library. You want access to all the resources, it is the library. So you don't use your Yahoo or Gmail accounts. This is standard for any library anywhere in the world. You have to use their email addresses because the resources they put in there are set to be supported by the university ecosystem, not your personal ecosystems, personal emails. Okay? So, the recap on how to access JKUAT, we are getting there. The recap is number one, get in touch with Dr. Rosalind Mangira. Okay? And I am sharing my screen again. I do not mind doing this. Okay? So here it is. These things are online. I'm not within your university. I'm literally even not near JKUAT, but I can access the library. If I can do it and you are there, you can access it. Dr. Rosalind Mangira's office is at Juja. She's in Juja. She's in the headquarters, so you can access her. This lady is 101% accessible. She receives her calls even in the middle of the night. So don't say that she's not accessible. I know that because we've experienced that with her. She's been pushing for this training with you since last year. Okay? So she's accessible. So that is her email. You've seen her picture. I'm going to put her email and cell phone. So I've shown you how you can access it through the library. You click on the new resources. When you click there, you'll see, let me show that again. I don't mind repeating this. All right, that link I've shared with you. You see, indexed high impact journals identification tools. She's made it so clear and easy. Click on this. But again, as I said, you need to have a JKUAT email. All right. If you don't have it, again, she's the person who will help you. She's the person who will help you. Okay. And also take advantage of your leadership. This is the second meeting we are having with the JKUAT leadership, where they are taking you through how they can support your ecosystem as graduates, as postgraduates. So please take advantage of them because they are on hand. These guys are actually hands-on, because I've sat in 2 meetings. They are hands-on. So reach out to Dr. Mangira or reach out to the head of postgraduate studies. They will help you on how you can access this email. Click here. It will take you again, for those who had asked, it will take you to this page. As I said, this page will come up with a username and password for those who have JKUAT emails. Okay? If you have the JKUAT email, if you use the JKUAT email, your username and password will pop up. I don't have the JKUAT email. Okay? But then when you log in, just click on content. Under content, you'll see databases. Then it will take you to dimensions. And this is dimensions. Okay, so let me get to dimensions. Please mute your calls so we can be supportive of everyone else. Okay, this is dimensions. This is what you're going to see. This is what you're going to see. Okay, this is embedded within your library. So you access it. All right. So if all of you click on dimensions right now, I need you to click on dimensions right now without going through the library. If you click that, you're only going to get this interface. Okay. 6 filters. Okay. Please mute your microphones. Outa, please help mute those who are please help me in muting the participants. So if you click on the link I shared with you, you're only going to get these 6. Okay? For sure, you're going to get these 6. But then if you go through Research for Life, this is what you're going to get. Okay? You don't need to go through this whole process if you go through Research for Life, because mine is at the back end. So this is what I'm seeing. Okay? You're going to receive all this. Are you seeing this? And this is why you see me insisting, please go through Dr. Rosalind Mangira. So the first things you're going to notice is that you've got publications, data sets, grants, patents, clinical trials, and policy documents. Okay, you'll have access to all of this. All right. Now, you can get publications all the way going back to the 1600s. See that? To the 1600s. So if any of your supervisors tell you to do a literature review, you have no excuse. You have data going back to the oldest topic based on based on your topic search. Okay. You can get researchers, funders, research organizations, countries. You can make your search as multidisciplinary as possible. The different types of publications, you can identify where you can publish, and also open access information if you so wish. Now, let's start with, let's say, for example, research from Kenya, okay? And don't worry, everybody, we have quite a bit of time. We have quite a bit of time. So we have the team here, and we've got quite a bit of time to support you. All right. Kenya has produced over 70,000 publications, okay? And the oldest publication on Kenya or on about Kenya goes back to 1906. So if you're doing any research on any topic based in Kenya, I can assure you, you have a lot of content. So let's look at JKUAT. Let's look at agriculture as a topic. Let's say you've been asked by your supervisor to get, to do a literature review on agriculture. And I know it's a very broad topic. We can even make it as narrow as you want. There are over 25,000 records, 23,000 records. Let's see the oldest. 1921. Okay. Now let's have let's have the fun part of this. Okay. Which institutions? Okay. Who funded this? The top 10 funders, as you can see. When you click on analytical views, you can get top 1,000 if you want, but this shows you the top 12. Who are the top researchers? You can see the top 10 researchers, top 12 researchers in agriculture who are doing research on agriculture in Kenya, or even, and this also includes collaborators, as you can see there. The funders done. Then the research organizations, institutions, as you can see, it doesn't come as a surprise. JKUAT is leading. Okay, that's what you're known for. And let's narrow it down. Okay, so from JKUAT's perspective, in agriculture. So who are, let's make this interesting. So in agriculture, just focusing on JKUAT, can you see this? Can you see where JKUAT agriculture in Kenya, can you see that window?
Yes,
Thumbs
we
up.
can see.
Good.
Yes, we can see.
Good. So from JKUAT, we can see, so who was JKUAT working with on research in agriculture? The top 10, top 12. You can see that. If you click on analytical views, you get more on that. How multidisciplinary was this research area? You click on research categories, you can see these are the top 5, but when you click on this, you can get top 1,000. You can see how multidisciplinary it was. But I'll take you through that. Okay. Please mute your calls, mute your devices. Kindly mute your devices. So these are the top researchers, top 12. Do you recognize any of them? Including collaborators.
Yes.
Good. These are the top 12. If you click on analytical views, it will give you the authors. You can get the top 1,000 in the previous years as well. Okay. The oldest publication coming out of JKUAT, published by researchers in JKUAT on agriculture, goes back to 1994. So you see, you can actually do a very good literature review. You've seen the funders, you've seen the collaborators, the countries you've worked with, okay, where you've published, just in case your supervisors say you need to publish where we've been publishing, okay? Let's leave it in-house. Publish where all JKUAT researchers have been publishing in agriculture. So here you go, top 12, okay? Top 12, and these are high impact journals. The last meeting I sat in with your director of postgraduate studies, he was making it very clear that you must publish, but you must publish in high impact journals. Some of you are asking, how do we identify these journals? You have a tool within your library that can show you where JKUAT researchers have been publishing in high impact journals. This is it. You really have no excuse. So it is actually in your director's best interest to say, you know what, if you're not published in any of these journals that are listed here, you cannot graduate, because there is evidence to show that that is where you've been publishing. Just in case, he says, where you need to publish where JKUAT researchers have been publishing. He has access to that information, and you can get the top 100. Yeah. So please switch off your phone, whoever's phone is on. Now, as you can see, that is just, as I'm telling you, what you're seeing is just the top 12. So when you go to analytical views, I just want to show you the breadth to which this is. So this is the multidisciplinary aspect of how agriculture has been covered by JKUAT researchers, from biological, plant sciences, human society, that is social sciences, built environment and design, reproductive medicine, statistics, data management, and data science. Are you seeing how multidisciplinary it is? So we can pick up the researchers who did research on agriculture and focused on machine learning or evolutionary biology, just from JKUAT. So the other thing I want to take you through is, so now you're doing your literature review and you want to find who, I just need to search either by relevance or the most cited publications. Just go here and click by citations. It is opening. Just give it a few minutes. Just give it a few minutes. Just give it a few minutes. Okay. Just give it a few minutes. I'll go on black for a second as I try and sort it out. So just give it a few seconds. Here we go. Okay, so here we are. Okay, here we are. It has opened up. I just needed to refresh the desk. So this is by the most cited ones. Okay, the most cited publications on agriculture published by JKUAT researchers. Okay, so with that, you can already see how you're performing. All right. You can already see how you're performing, and you can actually choose the top cited researchers, because the parameters of a literature review are based on what your supervisor says. He says, okay, maybe you just get the most cited publications or just get open access publications. You can do that from here. You can get the grants. I've shown you how you can get the grants. And that is on by topic search. I'm yet to even do the performance, or just take you through the performance of how JKUAT is performing in Kenya. Okay. All right. So how is Jomo Kenyatta University performing? And with the leadership here, most of you will say that, yes, there are more publications than this. And that is actually another topic we are going to be, we've been discussing with the leadership, is how to make more of your publications visible and accessible. Number one, you need to publish in the right journals. This is as researchers. You need to publish in the right journals, because if you publish in the right journals, it means that we can see your work. Okay. It means that we can see your work. And if we can't see your work, it becomes a bit of a challenge for researchers. All right. So you need to publish in the right journals. Now, number two.
Joy, tell them what the right journals are.
Okay. So the right journals, these are high impact journals. These are journals that are already indexed, and journals that are already, and I can comfortably tell you that journals that are accessible in dimensions are all indexed. They're all indexed. And as I've shown you, I've also shown you that you are already publishing in those journals as JKUAT. Okay. Actually, let me just make this as granular as possible. So you can see this is, in the last 10 years, you've received over 47 grants, and you've published over 3,000 publications. And these are your top researchers. Some of them you've recognized them, but I want to show you, these are some of your top researchers, but I want to show you the journals that you've published in before you start giving your supervisors stress. Huh? So these are some of the journals you are publishing in. Okay, as you can see, the list is so long. And all of this you can get from the library. Are you seeing this? And they are multidisciplinary in nature. All these journals, you can see, and the numbers you're seeing is the papers you've published in those journals. Okay. So as you can see, you really have no excuse. These journals are all indexed. So some of these journals are either, I can see that you have access to Schimago, use journals that are already in Schimago. All of these are in your library. Remember, those journals must be indexed, either in Africa Journals Online, DOAJ, Scopus, Web. And I remember even your leadership's telling you the last time we were doing this workshop that journals that are indexed in Scopus. The fun fact about journals that are indexed in Scopus are all harvested and put here. Okay, just in case you can't access Scopus, you can get it here. All right. So make sure you use the journals that are indexed here, so that you make life easy. So that when you work, if you publish in journals that are indexed, it means that the visibility of the university is also increased as well. You should be seeing more than 3,500 publications. You should be seeing 5,000. You should be seeing at least 5,000 publications. So this is dimensions. All right, you have access to it. As we are getting into the next training, I will show you, I will give you the contacts for Dr. Roslyn Mangira. Don't say she's not accessible. That lady is so accessible. She is so accessible, and she's really accessible. And most importantly, she's more than happy to support. Let me tell you, from when we launched Dimensions in the country, all the universities have been embedding it at the front of their library so that it is easy for researchers to use, because it covers everything. It makes your life easy when you're doing your research discovery. It makes your life easy when you're identifying potential partners to work with. It makes your life easy when you're looking at where to publish your journals. All right. It also makes the university's life easy, because they know that where you're publishing for sure is in a good quality journal. Because right now it is the prerogative of the university to ask, okay, if you say that you've published your work, they will actually check they'll actually check if it is indexed in dimensions, because they have access to it. So they might not, the university might not have access to Scopus because it's a paid service, but the good thing is that Scopus is already indexed here. So they will have access to it. So they will check, and they expect you to do the same. Okay? They expect you to do the same. All right? So what I'm asking you to is, number one, go to Rosalind Mangira, ask her for support. Ask her for support. Just a second, everybody. So what I'm asking you to do is that go to Rosalind Mangira, ask her for support, ask her to give you access to the email to the JKUAT email address. I can assure you, it's not only dimensions that you do not have access to. If you do not have the JKUAT email address, it means that you do not have the bulk of the resources within the university. So get a JKUAT email address. It might seem cumbersome if you feel that you have to register and all that, but you have no choice. Either that or you don't have access to the resources within the university. So get a JKUAT email address, and then you can have access to the library. Okay? Are there any questions before we get into the next training? Are there any questions?
Yes, there's a lot of questions in the chat, so you can.
Okay. Let's see. How can one confirm if a journal is high impact? As I said, a journal is high impact. You wanted a business related journal. Daniel, give me the list, the journal that you have in mind, then I can help you search, because these journals, all these journals are within the platform. Remember, this platform is 100% multidisciplinary. So you can get, you can access any journal, whether it is in business. So let me be clear: social sciences, arts and humanities, that's where business falls under, and management. What else? Natural sciences, biological sciences, you name it. This platform is 100% multidisciplinary. Yes, it is. If this journal is, you search for it in there. Search for it in that platform. If it is not in that platform, it's not indexed. Remember, this platform only works with journals that are indexed. Okay? Whether it is Scopus, DOAJ, AJOL, you name it. It only works with journals that are indexed. Hindawi is already there. African journals are already here through African Journals Online. Okay? So how do I know that a journal is high impact? Number one, we are not talking about, okay, this is changing, and it's a good thing the leadership is here. Impact is divided in two ways. Number one, it is accessibility and where it is indexed. It has to be indexed. That is number one. When I say index, it needs to be either in DOAJ, AJOL, Scopus, Web of Science, and Dimensions. Indexed, it needs to be indexed. So if a journal comes to you, ask the editor, where is this indexed? They need to show you. Okay? That is number one. Number two, as journals are indexed, they also start getting impact factor, even though now this is becoming a very controversial conversation because there are other ways to assess impact of a journal, okay? But the first thing is that it must be indexed, all right? For those of you who are saying they don't have access to the JKUAT library, e-library is because you do not have your JKUAT email address. If you have a JKUAT email address, you can access it. How do you access the JKUAT email address? I am giving you Dr. Rosalind Mangira's email address and her cell phone. Mpigie simu. Now I'm going native. Call her. She will help you. She will definitely help you. This lady is hands-on. She will help you in accessing your email address and then accessing dimensions. As I said, this session is being recorded, so you'll have access on how to use it. Okay. Now, so that is part one.
Joy, just maybe for clarity,
Yes.
during the time of their registration, they're supposed to go through the IT department.
Plus that.
The normally provides with emails. In the process of registration, you are given an email by the ICT department. Mr. Migwi is the one who is in charge. So please, if you do not have, make a point of getting the email.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you. So there you've had it. So go to your IT department at UON. It's the librarian who supports as well. So that's I'd assumed it was Dr. Mangira. But you see, you have the support. If you can't access your library, it means that you do not have the JKUAT email. And it means that you do not have access not only to dimensions, but literally everything within that university library. That e-library, I can access it from outside, but there are things that I cannot access within your ecosystem because I will need a JKUAT email. You're going to get Dr. Mangira's email and her cell phone. So you call her, and also and she can also give you the access to Dr. Migwe as well, so that you get those details. Okay, now we are done with the link for the e-library. Okay. So let me ask you, you go to school and you go blind, eh? Let me take you through that. Okay, so let's go through this. Let me, e-library, JKUAT library. Hold on a second. Here's the thing. If you want the JKUAT library, you can actually Google it. This is what I've done. Are you saying that? JKUAT library. Are you saying that? It takes you straight. It is so easy to find. You can actually Google it. Because sometimes it can be overwhelming to go through the university library, website. But the SEO of the website is so high. If you just Google it, it pops up. Okay, so just Google it. Okay. How do you check that a journal is indexed? Ask the editor because they will reach out to you to publish. So if you've identified a journal, go to the homepage, it shows where it is indexed. So always check before you actually, what is the right word? Before you get into the journal, you decide to publish with the journal, make sure that it is indexed. And all this information can be found while you are, what's the right word? While you're reading all the information on the homepage. Okay, so all these things are on the journal, and all these things are on the journal. But if you're not sure, ask the editor. Good. Now, where are we? The next session. The next session. For those who are asking about the library and access to the Wi-Fi and access to the email address, Professor Turok has said that please get in touch with Dr. Migwe. He's the head of IT. He will help you. But on my part, I'm going to give you Dr. Rosalind Mangira's cell phone and email address, and she'll guide you on how you can access the e-library and access dimensions. Okay, now I'm preparing the next session, which will take about 10 minutes. It's a recording, and you will go through the session, and this is for those who are in the social sciences. So give me a second as I prepare the video. Okay. And please mute, all of you mute. Nicholas, help mute because this is a recording. We don't want the audio out from outside interfering with it. All right. Are you able to see that? Good. Now, yes. This solution is called Knowledge, is from Knowledge Unlatched, and they have an open research library which focuses now only on social sciences. Okay, social sciences and arts and humanities. So they're going to take you through how you can access it. Again, this is also in your library. These are all open access solutions. So they'll show you how you can access it, and it focuses on books. So some of you who want to publish books, and also for the leadership in the university, you can index your books here. All right. So let us begin. And I will switch off my video so I can give time for everyone else to start. So we are beginning now.
Ms. Wilson de Souza. I'm regional manager here in Knowledge Unlatched. And today I will present to you a little bit of Knowledge Unlatched, but most important, I will present to you the Open Research Library. So the main point of this presentation for you is, first of all, as I mentioned, to present what is Knowledge Unlatched, the initiative, but the main point is to present you the Open Research Library, that is a central hosting platform for open access content. And the main point is really to emphasize to you the benefits for students and teachers, for librarians, and also for researchers and the academic open access publishers. So first of all, what is Knowledge Unlatched? So in short, Knowledge Unlatched, it's an initiative. It's a kind of crowdfunding platform for open access collections with emphasis on the humanities and social science books. Here we are talking about mostly about books. So in short, we offer a structure for libraries and institutions around the world to come together and co-finance the publication of open access academic books. So each of them share a piece of the costs to pay this content as open access. And that also means not just that everyone around the world can read and access this content, but this also means that the author won't have to pay any BPC for this content to be published. So our vision is really to create a sustainable market where books and academic journals also are freely accessible to all readers in the world. So Knowledge Unlatched this year, 2023, it's our year number 10. We are really proud of that. And now we not just offer different collections that the institution can support financially, but also, as I present for you today, we have a central hosting platform for open access content. We also have a forum around open access topics, and we also offer to institutions around the world a service that calls Weibo to help the institutions to manage open access agreements. Just to give you a kind of overview about Knowledge Unlatched and what we do with institutions around the world. So I also like to show to you a little bit the results that we achieved so far. So I would bring the attention to the books unlatched, more than 4,000. That means that we published as open access more than 4,000 academic books. And as I mentioned, without the author paying any kind of fee and with the support of mostly libraries around the world. So the number of institutions that already supported at least one of our collections, it's almost 700. Journals that we also have different initiatives for journals that were made open access. Now it's more than 50, and the total number of usage interaction for all this content that we made open access with the support of institutions, it's now more than 22 million. So we are really glad that we are achieving these results with the important support of institutions around the world. If you want more details about Knowledge Unlatched and our collections, please be in touch with me, wilson@knowledgeunlatched.org, and I will be happy to give you more details. And all this content, they are hosted in Open Research Library, the books, and also we have a link that you can access all these journals that are open access. But as I mentioned before, today the main point is really to present you quickly the Open Research Library. That is a central open access hosting platform. What we heard from libraries around the world and institutions is that when we are talking about open access content, sometimes for students and also for librarians, it's difficult it could be challenging to find all this content in different hosting platforms. So we really want to offer something more central for all this open access content. And the main point here is really to offer something user-friendly to the academic community. So here we are talking about not just the content that were made open access via Knowledge Unlatched, but also content, thousands of books, chapters, academic posters, and also videos, academic videos that are hosted from different publishers in different idioms in Open Research Library. So first of all, I will just emphasize the benefits to the main benefits to you, and I will do a quick demo just to show how it looked like. I think that it's better to show how it works in a practical way, but I will just emphasize quickly the benefits for different stakeholders, let's say, in the academic community. So for students and teachers, as I mentioned, we really want to provide one single place to your academic community to have access to this content. So the platform, it's really user-friendly. It's really easy to create your own account, to add notes and bookmarks, especially to students. Sometimes could be challenging to keep everything in one place. So we offer that a completely free service. You can access that. You don't have to access this content using the IP from your university, so the students can access using the internet at home or either in the faculty or in the university. And it's really interesting to say that this content can be safely recommended by the teachers, because we are talking about here about content that's perpetually open access. What we heard from some libraries in the past is that sometimes they pay to have access to a content and a package content from a publisher, and then out of a sudden the content is not there anymore. And that's not the case here. All the content that is hosted in open access, in Open Research Library, they will be there perpetually as open access, and most important, for free. So we know that all the institutions are around the world, they are facing budget cuts, especially to invest in more content or to acquire content. So we really think that Open Research Library could be a good solution and a free solution in that sense. It's quality content, it's peer review content, and then it's just available there to, as I mentioned, to your students and teachers to take advantage of. To librarians, as I mentioned, all this content is there, available, and you can index all this content in your library system if you have one, and if you want to index all this content that I mentioned to you. So it's really easy, just going in the platform, you can find the metadata info, and then you can download the MARC records, or if you have a discovery system, you can activate the collections there. So about interoperability, the Open Research Library supplies metadata feeds in many formats like MARC, OAI, OPDS, and all these feeds also contains links directly to the source content files for easy download. I will show to you how it works. The platform, it's really secure, as we are monitoring all the time if anything suspicious is happening. We really keep monitoring to make sure that everything is working properly, and that we don't have any kind of problem in that sense. So as I mentioned, the Open Research Library, we don't want to replace the other open access platforms. But the main point here is really to offer a central hosting platform for open access content, especially providing a better user experience, as I mentioned, by creating notes, by adding bookmarking or list marking. So it's really easy also to use all the advanced search feature that we have. Also easily navigate. It's really easy to navigate by checking by the name of authors, publishers, and languages I will demonstrate to you. And here I think that's really important to all institutions related to TCC Africa is the benefit for the researchers. So as a hosting platform that is freely operating around the world, we have a big audience for this content. So if your institution wants to somehow emphasize the impact of their research, it's possible to host the content from your researchers also in Open Research Library. So there are some rules. The publications must be scholarly monographs that went through a peer review process and that are available either in a PDF or EPUB format. But here I think that's really powerful feature, let's say, in Open Research Library. We are not just talking about English content. We host also content in different idioms and regional languages, including the African Union international languages as Arabic, English, as I mentioned, French, Portuguese, Swahili, and the national languages and indigenous languages. If you want to do that and help your researchers to increase the impact by disseminating to a new audience, please be in touch with Pablo or again with me, and I will connect with him to help you in this process. And then here we are in the Open Research Library. As I mentioned before, I really like the way that the content is available here. The design of the website, I think it's really user-friendly, as I mentioned. So here, the content, it's curated in different topics. So for example, design or biography or history. So it's really easy to navigate here. You can use the advanced features to do the advanced search to do your search. For example, you can choose if you want to see, for example, the content that is in a specific language, for example, Afrikaans, we can do that, and then we will see all the content that is available in this language, and then you can cross details to do your advanced search. So also, let's just use one topic here just for you to see how to navigate through this content. So you can use the search engine easily, but if you want to click in one of the topics, you can easily do that. Here in the corner, you will see that you can use different filters, as I mentioned before, in this topic. So for example, the language, the publisher, place of publication. So it's quite intuitive, I would say. But let's say that you did your search and then that you want to read the content or to see more details. So here, as I mentioned, there are several features that you can use. For example, you can download this content. You can add as a favorite. You will see more information like the license type, the publisher, the ISBN, and also the citations that I think that could be really important. Again, if you want to read this content or to interact with this content, you can just click in the button read, and then you can easily navigate using the arrows to read the content. And then what is really interesting here and really useful to readers but also you can bookmark this page, and also, for example, create your own notes. So it's really easy. You can just type whatever you want and you can save, and then after that this will be saved in your profile, in your account. So now to finish our presentation, we really believe that the Open Research Library, it's a free resource, a powerful free resource to your institution that is available completely free, and we strongly recommend you to promote this in your academic community. So if you have a page in your website for open access recommended resources page, you can just get the URL of the web page or the site, the website, and you can add this in your open access resource page. But also we recommend that you promote that using the ways that you would like or would prefer. For example, using your own social media, if you have a newsletter, and sharing this information with your professors and teachers. If you need more details also apart from this video, we can also share with you a kind of welcome page with more technical details. So what does all this mean for you, for your institution? So we really want to encourage you to take benefit of this content, accessing all this content at no cost. So as I mentioned, the Open Research Library, it's a user-friendly platform that is easy to access and it's ready for use by your academic community. And as I mentioned, all content is perpetually open access, so your teachers and the students can use it without worrying about being removed from our platform. And again, just to emphasize, if you want to host the content from your institution, the researchers from your institution, to make it more accessible for a new audience, you can also be in touch with me or with Pablo via email, and then I will help you. So thank you so much for your
So I hope that session has been helpful, and you have a better understanding of what do you call this? Knowledge Unlatched Open Research Library can do for you as a researcher. Now, our next, and as I said, that was focusing purely on the Open Research Library was focusing on books, especially those in the social sciences and the arts and humanities. You want a place to index your books, you'll have that. You want to access some of these books, you'll also have access to that as well. Now, our next session, we've been talking about research discovery, okay? Our next session is writing. You're writing your scientific paper. Writing a scientific paper is extremely daunting, especially when you're reading various publications and you're trying to figure out what is the author trying to say? It wasn't clear at all. Don't worry, we are going to share with you the recordings so that we can take you through about what it is about. So, but just for context, the Open Research Library is also another research discovery solution, which indexes books on social sciences and arts and humanities. So they're showing you how you can use it and have access to it as well. So those of you who are in management, who are in the social sciences, arts and humanities, this is a good platform for you as well. So we are giving you various options that exist. That is number 2. Number 3, if you're writing a book and you're trying to figure out where can I index my book, the Open Research Library is the platform that you can use to index your books. All right, so this is also not only for researchers, but it's also targeting librarians. That is what it's all about. And as I said, it is accessible free of charge, again, within your library. All right, so now what I was taking you through part 1 and part 2 is research discovery. Next step is scientific writing, which is the most daunting part for any researcher. Now, when you're writing your paper, it can be really daunting. It is truly daunting. Why? Because one of the things you need to do is not only write good papers, but read several papers. And sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming trying to figure out what is an author trying to say in the introductions, in the materials and methods. You know, sometimes you lose context of this and you don't even understand context of what this author is trying to say. And coming from the fact that English is not necessarily our first language, we also get lost in translation. Now, thanks to AI, thanks to artificial intelligence, there's a tool that is a text summarizer that helps contextualize each component of a scientific paper. So if you're looking at the IMRAD structure, the introduction, the materials and methods, the results, the conclusions to the discussions, it literally contextualizes each component. So it summarizes each bit so that you can understand what this person was trying to say, and it brings out the most important aspects of that paper, of the components within that paper, so that you can easily make a decision whether you're going to use it when you're writing your paper or not. Now, with us today is a team of 2 who are going to take us through how this solution works. This solution is called Scholarcy. All right. We have a team member from the UK, Miss Emma Warren-Jones, and Dr. Nicholas Outa, who is going to take us through the practical aspect of this solution. So without further ado, Dr. Outa, actually it's Dr. Outa, is going to take us through how you can use Scholarcy for scientific writing and how it can aid you in your scientific writing process and support you in your academic writing. So, Nicholas, ready?
Ready.
Okay, over to you.
Thank you so much. I hope I'm audible enough to everyone. Maybe Joy, you can confirm this.
Yes, you
Okay, so thank you so much, Joy, for that. And thank you for taking us through the possible solutions that we can use while, in our research discovery journey. It's quite a bit of a hassle sometimes when you don't know where to look for literature, when you don't know where these papers are indexed. And I'm not really going to dwell on that because you have said quite a bit on that. And I'm happy that you've shown us quite a bit of solutions that are there. My name is Nicholas Outa. I am a lecturer in Maseno University. I'm in my final year, actually. I'm just about to graduate with my PhD. My background is in fisheries and aquaculture. And I am a research capacity advisor at Training Center in Communication Africa. And I started as a trainee and I became a trainer, and today I'm a research capacity advisor. I'm really happy to be here today. There's quite a bit that we train people and support people on, but today I am here to talk to you about Scholarcy. Now, one thing that we know for sure is that as a researcher, you need to do research before you do research. Okay. Maybe that would be a mouthful. Kindly, I'm also asking, just be mindful and just mute yourself, because we are quite a big group and it's very hard for us to keep muting people. It's a bit hard, so I'm requesting. What happens is you need to read so many papers before you write your paper. So as you are doing research, there's quite a bit of reading that you in fact, that is why when you graduate, I think the people here will agree that when you graduate, we are told we are giving you the power to read and write all that pertains to this degree. Why do they start by telling you that they are giving you the power to read and write? It means that you cannot write well if you don't know how to read well. So you have to read before you write. And in research, if you fear reading, then you cannot be a researcher. It's very hard for you to thrive. So what happens, I'm going to give a small intro, then we'll go into the demonstration so that you get to understand. But I'll give a very short presentation about this so that you get to understand what I'm talking about. So I hope I have the right to share my screen. Kindly mute. There is someone who is unmuted. Kindly mute. We are a big team, and it's just good to. Okay, so is my screen visible enough?
Yes, it.
Is it visible?
Yes, we can see you. You may begin.
Okay, thank you. So I think what I was saying here is how then there is a solution that you can use to read smarter, which means that, of course, after you've used the different research discovery or scholarly discovery platforms that you've been shown, now you have your papers, or you have identified a number of papers. You either have them downloaded on your laptop, or you are in the process of looking for them and collecting them and bringing them into a place where you can now start using them for your research. Instead of going through the hassle of reading all the papers from title to discussion to everything, what if we tell you that there's a tool powerful enough to help you contextualize and also summarize them into what we call flashcards? I will show you what those summary flashcards are, which means that in the entire structure, this AI tool will summarize this paper for you so that when you are reading the paper, you are reading the whole paper, yes, but without going into the details of each and every the sentences that the scholar used, because then it could be also in the style of writing. We all have different styles of writing, and you find some papers are easier to read than others. So what I'm taking you through today is for you to get to understand that there are tools that can help you read smarter, and it's going to save you time. It's going to help you contextualize the papers, and also it's going to just make this a bit enjoyable. It's called Scholarcy. I think you can see that on my screen. So what really is the problem? Okay, so the problem here is that there is too much information, but there's not enough time, especially for researchers. I've been through my PhD journey. I'm almost towards the end, and I realize sometimes there's so much to do that you are not only focusing on your research. Of course, you are focusing on so many other things as a scholar and as a researcher. So there's so much information on the internet, but there's not enough time, especially for scholars, to go through all this. So the universal challenge for researchers is so many papers are published every year, and a lot of papers are published every year. And researchers typically spend 45 minutes reading a paper, because if you have to read through from the top paper, from the first sentence to the end of it, then you will spend, research shows that we spend around 45 minutes reading a paper. But then the average researcher, especially if you're doing your PhD or your postdoc, you can read an average of 250 papers in a year. Sometimes even more, but averagely people read 250 papers in a year. Because after going through your proposal writing, you go through your thesis writing, now you want to start writing your manuscripts, and you are writing, there's quite a bit of this thing. So you read so many papers. Now that is a challenge that we have. There's too much on the internet. We take a long time to read, and also we read so many papers in a year, for example. What is the solution? The solution is Scholarcy, which uses AI to distill your papers into summary flashcards. I will show you in the demonstration how this is done. So it distills, it's like you put the paper through the process, and then it gets distilled into summary flashcards where you can just contextualize and read each and every single section of the paper by pulling out the most important aspects of that specific section. I will show you in the demonstration how that works. So pretty much Scholarcy is your virtual research assistant. It reads research papers and breaks them down into easy to digest interactive summary cards. Scholarcy surfaces relevant referenced facts in seconds and enriches them with clear definitions and a broader context. You can, it also stores hundreds of summaries, links to cited content, tables, diagrams, and more in your own library in Scholarcy. You can do that in Scholarcy. I will show this in the demonstration. Now, 5 ways Scholarcy helps researchers. How does Scholarcy help you? I think I've talked about this in my introduction, but then I'll just take you through what is here. One is it identifies and explains key concepts. You will see this. And then the good thing is these concepts are already linked to the definition. So if you have a concept that you don't understand very well, you click on it, you will get a definition of what it means. You will see this as well. It highlights most important points. You will see the highlights, and also it has different ways of highlighting the contribution, the most important facts and stuff like this. You will also see that. And it also creates a cited summary. It finds and links all cited sources. You will also see that in my demonstration. It links all these cited sources. And also, reading time by over 60% and makes complex information easier to digest. You will see. So with this, we are going to save 150 hours saved per researcher per year. You see, that will be good, because that time we can then go about using it to think about other research ideas. But then we are saving 1 billion hours for researchers worldwide. Imagine what you can do with 1 billion hours. What researchers can do worldwide with 1 billion hours. That's quite a bit of time. So I think the most important thing I want to bring about here is Scholarcy will help you spend less time, but read in a more sustainable and a smarter way. So that was just the background to Scholarcy. So you need to read smarter with Scholarcy. But then, having said this, I know somebody would ask, you told us how good this thing is. How then do we use it? Because I think that is the most important part. If I just go around talking about it without showing you how it works, then I think it's not going to be helpful. So allow me to get into the demonstration. I will stop sharing my screen for now. Then I will share a different screen. So I will share first. I will share the screen on when you want to access Scholarcy. It's just very easy. You just go on to your Google search, or whichever search engine you are using, and just type Scholarcy. In fact, scholarcy.com, and then whatever comes is whatever you are seeing on your screen. So you are seeing Scholarcy. Are you seeing Scholarcy on my screen, Joy?
Yes, we can see. We can see.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can see.
Thank you so much. Sometimes it's always good to confirm, because you could be sharing, but maybe not sharing. So when you Google Scholarcy, just on Google or any other search engine, this is what will pop up. So Scholarcy online summarizing tool. So just pick that option. When you pick that option, I'll close this and just take you directly to where you will go. When you pick that option, because I also don't want to go into, I think once you know how to look for it. Then when you click that, it will take you to a point to the section where you are going to either log in. But if you are not logging in, if you don't have the premium version, you can still be allowed to use it. But then you can only, for the free version, you can do 3 papers every day. But for the premium version, you can do as many papers as you want in a day. And this one, I will be able to tell you about this. You will see this later on. Now, let me just show you how this works. So once you choose the first option, you will come to, I'll stop sharing this, and I'll just show you where, once you choose this option, where it will take you straight to, okay, I'm just looking for, yeah. Okay. Share my screen again. Just a minute, I'm just fixing this. Okay. Are you able to see my screen again? Scholarcy, are you seeing aquaponics and stuff like this?
Yes.
Yes, we can see.
Thank you so much. So when you choose the first option that I showed you, it will bring you to an interface like this. So once it brings you here, if you have the premium version, that after this TCC, I will explain to you how you will be able to access this premium version that you can use in an unlimited way. But the free version, you can only do 3 papers in a day, which of course that is also can also help you. But I would really encourage that you go the premium way, because then you can summarize as many papers as you want. Now, once you come here, even in your computer, when you are downloading papers to start using for your research or for your literature review or whatever it is, you always create folders for your papers. Most of the time, you really don't just go around throwing papers, downloading them and just throwing them all over your computer. There is a system in which you organize your papers. That one I know for sure. So each person has their own ways, but most of the time you create folders. So let's say my background is in fisheries and aquaculture. So let's say I'm talking about fish nutrition as part of aquaculture. So what I'll do, I will create a folder on my desktop where, or whichever place, but where when I download papers that are related to this, then I will take them straight to that folder, so that when I want to read something about that subject, I know which folder to go to. So when you come to Scholarcy, the first thing you do is on the right, you can see this button, Create Library. So when you click on this Create Library, okay, then you give a chance to give the library the name you want. So let's say we are creating the library called the JKUAT. Once you create the library is there. So we have a library. Then we have a library that has nothing. This library does not have any paper. So it's like a it's like a folder. We have created a folder, like you created a folder on your laptop or your computer, but then you still don't have files in it. So that folder is useless until it has papers. Now, even within your library, if you create within a library, even within that library, you can still create folders within that library and add papers to the folder within the library. So it's like creating a folder, and then you can create a subfolder within the folder. It's still the same thing, but I think the most important thing that I wanted to show you was creating a folder. Now, we have created a folder. Now we have a folder. Somebody will ask, once we have the folder, because you will only appreciate the power of this if you are able to see how it works. So one of the most important things that I want to show you is how then do I bring papers into this library of mine or into this folder that I have created, so that I can be able to start using Scholarcy to summarize them. There are several ways. So you just click on this import button that is on the right. I hope you can see me hovering my cursor over it. When you click on import, there are several options through which you can import papers into your library that you have created on Scholarcy. So you can easily drag and drop, and that's a maximum of 64 files per batch. That does not mean that you cannot put more than 64. So you just select and bring in batches, but then it allows you to do up to 64 files in one batch that you can drag and drop Or when you click, it allows you, when you click on this box, it allows you now to browse and bring them from wherever place it is. You can just upload the way you upload when you are sending your files on email or stuff like this. So that is one option. So you can easily just upload files here. That is one way. So you have files in your computer or in your laptop and you want to bring them on Scholarcy, you can click there, bring them up, or you can drag and drop. Those options are there. But you can also bring them from web or cloud storage. So let's say you have some papers stored somewhere on the web. You have papers stored on, let me just give you an example here. When you click on this, so it allows you to bring papers directly from Google Drive. Let's say you have some papers on Google Drive, or you have some papers on Dropbox or OneDrive or Zotero, whichever place. So if you have any papers on the web or on cloud storage, you can always bring them here and still use them on Scholarcy. You can bring them on your library and use them here. That is another option. The other option is you can, if you have an open access paper, let's say you know that this paper is open access, you can easily just paste the DOI, the digital object identifier. I hope you all know the DOI. So each paper has its own unique DOI. You can easily paste the DOI here, and then when you click on import, it will bring that paper to your library. The other option is you can also still just paste. Let's say it also allows you, so you can paste, you can just copy text and paste it here up to 5,000 characters, and it still allows you, it can still summarize that for you. So those are some of the ways. I will show you more ways when we go into the websites where we can now start also just importing papers directly into this, because like when you are browsing through Google Scholar, it now allows you just to save Scholarcy directly. So when you are browsing through papers on Google Scholar, it has the option, so you can just click and save to Scholarcy. But then I'm not going into that. The other option that I also want to show you before I forget, before I go into the other details of what you do when the papers are in here. Let us say you are searching for papers on the internet. Let's say I'm giving you an example using PubMed. So I will stop sharing this and then I will go on the PubMed platform so that you can be able to see what it looks like. I'll share my screen again, but I'm now sharing the PubMed screen. Now, let us say you are looking for papers on PubMed, for example, and let's say we are talking about malaria in Kenya as an example. So let's say this is the paper. This was your search, and you want to now. Let's say you have identified specific papers here, and let's say you have identified this paper, or you have identified all of them, and you want to take all of them to Scholarcy. There are several ways. One of the ways is you can create an RSS. So okay, let me mute. Someone is not muted. Okay, thank you. So if this is a paper, let's say you have identified some certain papers that you want to take to your Scholarcy library, you can easily just select the papers and then you can save to, and then you can save. You can save as a citation manager. So when you save citation manager, then it allows you to create file, and then you can save as a BibTeX file or whichever kind of file that can, or a RIS file that can easily be extracted when you take it to your reference manager. I know people are using, people are conversant with Zotero and also Mendeley and maybe other reference managers. But the other option that you can have is you can create RSS feed here. So if you create an RSS feed about, so let's the name of the RSS feed, let's say is malaria in Kenya, then you can create an RSS feed with this name so that any paper that comes into this platform that has that is related to malaria in Kenya will automatically be taken to your library, your Scholarcy library automatically. Let me just give you an example. So let's say you want to create an RSS feed. What happens is when you click on create RSS, you have already created an RSS feed. So what you can do is you just copy the RSS feed, go to your Scholarcy library, and then you can always embed it there. I will show you how to do that. So let us say you have created the RSS feed, you copied the link. Yeah, I'll share now. I'll again share. I'll keep sharing. Just shifting so that because this is a demonstration, so that you get to see how this works. I'll share this different screen again now. This is a different screen here. I'll share this screen now. Now, you remember the other side, we had already, how do you say? We had already created an RSS feed. We created an RSS feed and already copied the, how do we call it? We copied the RSS link. So it's on our clipboard. So what you can do is you can come here and just put it in the where you want. You can put it where you can put it to the library where you want it to be. So you can just be relaxing somewhere, but then you get feeds when papers. So your library will keep being updated with the new papers that are linked to, that are relevant to the RSS feed that you created. So I want to give an example. Already, I created already a folder here. I already created a library called aquaponics because this is of course related to the research I'm doing, my PhD research. So once you bring your papers onto the platform using the different ways that I have shown you, then now you have your flashcards summarized here. Now I have all my papers here. All these are my papers that I have. So these are all my flashcards, because the papers, when you bring them here, they are now going to be converted into flashcards, summary flashcards. I will now show you how these summary flashcards are important. Now, each paper, let us take one for at random. So when you bring, each paper will have will be summarized in this format. So you'll have the title of the paper, the authors, then the headline. It's like already a sneak peek into the paper, but maybe not the exact title of the paper, but just like it will be a general thing. So let's look at this one. This one, the title is Simultaneous Removal of Toxic Ammonia and Lettuce Cultivation in Aquaponic System using whatever. But then you see what the headline is talking about. The headline is giving you an idea of what is contained in that paper, like the main, the results demonstrated that. So from the headline alone, you already have an idea. You are not already reading the paper, you have an idea of maybe what it's talking about. But then here, we also have the year it was published, and we also have the number of citations. I think the number of citations is also important here, because you look at it and say, okay, this is a paper that was published in 2020, and it's already cited 60 times. So this is a paper that can interest me. But then let us say we are reading this paper. Let us just click on that paper, and then you see what it means. So each paper, all those summary flashcards, when you click on any of the papers now that you want to read into a bit more detail, this is what you get first. First of all, it gives you the general summary of the paper. Okay, so the main highlight of the paper, what was the main highlight? So I'm not saying this is the only thing that this paper is about, but then Scholarcy has gone through the paper in its entirety and has said, this is what stands out. This is the main highlight of the paper. Let's say I want to tell somebody about what this paper is about. This could stand out. But then if you are seeing this arrow, if you click on this arrow, it will take you directly to where you can download this paper, and also, maybe where this paper is accessible. As I said, it has to be open access. Then you have the authors, the year of publication. I think these ones are also on the other side. But then now we have the paper now broken down into different sections. So the first one is key concepts. So what are the key concepts that Scholarcy has picked from the paper and brought to you that can give you an idea of what is relevant in the field or what is relevant in the paper? So one of them is nuclear magnetic resonance. So if you don't know what this means, you can easily click on it, and it will take you to Wikipedia definition of what this is. I don't know what screen you are seeing. I just clicked on it. I don't know whether it has taken me to Wikipedia directly, but then what I'm showing you here is that if you click on this, if you click on each of these key concepts, it will take you directly to the Wikipedia definition, so that you have an idea. Okay, so this is what it means. That is the first part. The second part is the abstract. Now, the abstract, it brings out the abstract as it is, but then it highlights for you the main points. Now, if you look at here, there is what we call the spotlight. But the spotlight will tell you what these highlights mean. I think you can see some text highlighted in blue, but some are highlighted in pink. I don't know whether this is pink but it's highlighted in, let's say, in pink. When you click on spotlight, it shows you that the contributions of these authors is highlighted in pink. What their contribution is, like their new, what they found out or their own addition. But then important points are highlighted in blue. So you are seeing the important points that are also highlighted in blue. So let's say we have clicked on contribution. So when you click on this, then it shows you what are their contributions. We found this study examined. So these are things that they are not reporting from any other research. These are things that they are reporting, their own reporting and their own contribution in this research. So that is one thing that I wanted to show you about this spotlight thing. So we are talking about the abstract. So in the abstract, as you read the abstract, it highlights. Sorry.
Continue.
Hello.
Continue, Nicholas.
Okay, thank you. So it highlights for you the main points, as you are seeing, what are their contribution and what are the main points. I think when you go on Spotlight, it shows you what those highlights mean. And when you click on each of them, it will take you directly to where, like we found, it will take you directly to where the highlight is, so that you can contextualize and read. Now, after the abstract, in that order, you have, let me just go back. After the abstract, we have the synopsis. Now, if you click on the synopsis and open it, the synopsis is like now the generic and the, the overall overview of the paper. If the generic, let's say, is like the journalistic summary of that paper, without putting too much jargon in it. If somebody wants to understand the gist of the paper in a very easy way, in a very easy to understand way, then you just go through the synopsis, so that what was this paper about? What did they study? Why was it important? And did they find out? You can always go to the synopsis. And then after that, we have what we call Scholarcy highlights. Now, Scholarcy highlights are specific over that paper. So you don't have to go and read the paper word by word, but then you go to Scholarcy highlights, and then it will just give you the main points that it thinks are those facts that stand out from the research. So when you go to Scholarcy highlights, you find what really stood out. What is it that stood out from the paper that you are reading, so that you can pick out and say, okay, so this stood out about the lettuce yield. Our results demonstrated that, these are the things that Scholarcy feels as an AI tool, that these are very important things, that these are the highlights that stood out in the paper that is that I am I'm reading. But then we also have the Scholarcy library. Now the Scholarcy library, Scholarcy summary. The Scholarcy summary now highlights summarizes each and every single section of this paper. So if you want the summary of the introduction, Scholarcy has done this for you in the Scholarcy summary. So you have the introduction summarized, what were the main objectives of this paper, summarized, what were the main findings of this paper, analyzed, summarized, the conclusion is also summarized, but then you still can access full text. Okay, so you still can access full text. The other thing that I want to highlight is, as you are reading this paper, you find that some papers are also cited. So you find they have also cited other people. And if that paper that is cited is open access and you can be able to access it, if you hover your cursor over that paper that was highlighted, you can easily, you see this one is, you can find the text you can locate full text. Here, and also locate full text with an paywall. I think you people know how this paywall works. And paywall scours through the internet and looks for whether there is the possibility of you getting a paper that is if it is open access elsewhere. I hope you also know what Scite does. Scite AI has also been incorporated into Scholarcy. So this one shows you how many times a paper has been cited and how many times it has been cited positively or negatively. I think these are also things that TCC can also train you on. So today we are not talking about Scite, but what I'm doing right now is also to just bring your attention to Scholarcy so that you can go and also just try to dig deeper into it and try to work with it. And also when you click on this Scholarcy logo, or you can, when you click on it, it allows you to, when you imagine you are reading one paper, but it allows you, when you click on this, to get a summary of the paper that is also cited within the reading without leaving the paper. So you are reading this paper, they cited this person, but you are able to find a general idea, a summary of the person they cited. So you have an idea of why did they cite it. Okay, so realize they are citing these people because they have also investigated bacterial populations relevant to nitrification in full-scale activated sludge plant receiving. So you find out, you get an idea of why did they cite these people and how is this research relevant to what I'm reading currently. So that is one of the ways through which you can. So because then that helps for snowballing, because you can now always you can keep growing your literature base based on the citations, because you can easily follow what their citations are. But then that is not all. When you read through, I've told you about those the summaries there. You can also now get the chance to find. There's something I wanted to show here. Okay, I'll just go back here. So one of the things I want to bring to attention was, mine was to bring your attention to how powerful this tool is so that you can also play around with it. But then there's one thing that is remaining that I still want to show you before I give also Emma a chance to also say one thing or two. Let us say you have all your summary flashcards, but you want to export them. You don't want to read them here, or you want to read them here, but you can still export them either as Word or as Excel spreadsheets or in other formats like Markdown, so that you can be able to use them elsewhere. Or you want to export them into a reference manager, because Scholarcy is not a reference management tool. So you cannot use Scholarcy to do citations. You cannot use Scholarcy to generate your own reference lists, but you can export these summary flashcards into a reference manager like Zotero or Mendeley, and then you can now use them on that other side to create your own citations. So let's say you want to export them maybe as Word. You just click on export, because here you have the options to move, export, or delete. So we want to export documents. Then once you click on export documents, you need to select the documents you want to export. So let's say we want to export. Let's just click here and export all that we can export. So then here you select option. You want to export them as what? You want to export as Word, you want to export as RIS file, you want to export as references, you want to export Excel, PowerPoint, whatever it is. Let us say we want to export as Word. Click on export as Word. Let us see what happens. I'm sharing my screen, so it could be a bit, I think the computer could be a bit slow in processing this, but then it should be able to allow me to export in as Word. Just a minute as it's processing that. I'll do it again and see. Okay. Let me just again. Let me try again to export. You click on export documents. Then you choose the documents you want to export. Let's say we want to just export all. Then click here and choose the option. So you want to export as Word. If you export as Word, it means that it will summarize each paper into its own flashcards in a Word document where you can read them now in Word. I don't know why it is behaving this way, but then let's try to export in Excel and see how this works. Okay. I know what is the problem. Once you click on export, then you select Word, then you click on export selected. I think that is where the part I was missing. So once you click and select the format in which you want to export the summary flashcards, you click on export selected, and then it will now allow you to export them. It's still working. There are quite a bit, so I think it's now. You see, let us say we are exporting them just to my desktop. I'll just call them. I'll just save it like that. Now they are exported as zipped file because there are so many of them. I'll just open my zipped file. I don't know which screen you are seeing. Which screen are you seeing?
Scholarcy.
Scholarcy. Okay. So I will stop sharing Scholarcy and I will show you what it looks like when I've exported my library as Word, and I want to. It has come as a zipped file, so I want to show you what it looks like on my desktop so that you can appreciate. Okay, so I have exported it as Word. I have exported my library. So I have exported all those summary flashcards you are seeing. I've exported them as Word. Let us pick one paper, one of these papers at random, one of these papers as random and see. So this is what I have exported. I have exported this paper that is called, so it comes of course with its title and all those people, those things, but then it has the key points. You remember the way you were reading them on Scholarcy, it's still the same thing. So, but now it is in Word format. So this paper, you are now reading it in Word format, but you are not reading the exact paper. You are reading a summary of that paper. So you are reading the summary, the key points of that paper. So it's easy for you. You can easily just go through and see which parts you want to pick and which parts you want to read, to lay more emphasis on. It has also summarized for you the methods. It has summarized for you the results. So it has just pretty much exported your summary flashcards into Word format, so you can be able to read it maybe offline. You can be able to read it maybe from your laptop, or even you can carry it on your tablet and read it as you go. So you can easily find, okay, this is the paper I want to read. Let me just go through the highlights and see, or let me just go through the methods that is summarized. Let me go through the conclusion and how it is summarized. So that it has done that for each of the papers, each of them. So you can easily just go back and read one paper, go back and read each of those papers. Now, the other option that we have is we can still export. But then we can now export, instead of exporting as Word, we can still now export, but export as Excel. Now, export documents. Let's say we want now export as Excel. Okay, sorry. I have selected the papers I want to export. I want to export as Excel. Then you click on export selected. Then it will now allow you to export your summary flashcards as Excel spreadsheet. Okay, it has just done that. Let me open it and then share. I will stop sharing this screen right now. And then I will share the one that I have just exported. Okay, I will stop sharing that, and then I will share the one that I have just exported. Okay. I'm trying to, okay, I'm back here. So I want to show you the Excel spreadsheet that I have just exported, so that you can be able to also appreciate what it looks like when you export in Excel spreadsheet instead of Word. I think you see in what it looks like when you export. So we have exported our summary flashcards as Excel. So you see, we have still our papers here, but I want you to see how they are now organized. You have the file name. Of course, you can hide the ones that are not important for you. So let's say this one maybe is not important for us. So let's say we want to hide this, because then the type is, those are journal articles. We can hide some of these so that we don't have so many columns that can confuse us. Now you have the title of the paper, the author, the journal where it was published, the year, the DOI, the abstract of the paper, the keyword, the funding, all these things. You have the highlights, all these things. Each paper has all those attributes. Now let us say that you have brought them here. But then if you are also a guru in Excel, maybe you can now decide to say, okay, I want to filter by year. So you want to say, I want to only look at papers that were published between 2021 and 2022. You can put that and then summarize and compare those papers. Let's say you want to say, I only want to compare papers based on findings. Then you can say, okay, I'm only selecting findings. And then you can now play around with it on Excel the way you want. But the one thing I want to show you here is, if you are doing literature search, then you now have all your library, all your papers now summarized in certain headlines, and it's very easy for you now to work around it. As I said again, it's not very possible to explain this in like that. By when you leave this place, you will know every single detail. I keep working on it because I am also a researcher and I'm working with this quite a bit. So I am also still learning a bit of it also to be very conversant with it. So my encouragement is, please, after this, reach out to TCC. They will tell you how you can get the premium version, get into it, try working with it. The other thing that I want to show you, I think this could be the last one before I allow also Emma to say one word. Let us say, I will again share my Scholarcy screen because there's something I want to show you there. We've exported, we've done all these things, but then there's one thing that is remaining that I want to show you how to use. I'm just checking on the screen so that I am very sure I'm sharing the right screen. Okay, I will share the screen now here. We are back to Scholarcy, and now let us say we want to share this, we want to export this as so that we can use it in our reference management tool. I know we are not, I hope, not I know, but I hope all of us are using reference managers. I hope we are not writing our references manually, because that is the problem that most of us have. Research becomes a bit more difficult when you have to remember, oh, which was that paper that I cited? Who was the first author? Which format? All those things is a bit complex. But if you use Zotero or Mendeley or EndNote or those ones, just learn one and it will be easy for you. But I want to give you an example. Let's say you want to export your library here and you want to use it so that you can take it to your reference management tool so that you can use it the other side to generate references and bibliographies and whatever. You still just export the same way we said, but then you select the papers you want to export, but then now we are exporting it as a RIS file so that we can use it on Zotero or EndNote. Okay, so we are exporting it as a RIS file. So we export, then you will just save it as a RIS file on your desktop or wherever. The good thing is these reference managers will rip the information out of the RIS file and now just list your papers as a list of list your articles so that you can use them to generate whatever it is that you want to generate, like a reference list, or you want to do citations as you write. I'm saving this RIS file on my desktop. I've just saved the RIS file on desktop. So let us say I am using Zotero. I will now stop sharing that and I will share Zotero as a screen so that you can understand how you can use the RIS file now on Zotero and use it for citations. Let us say I am using Zotero. Are you seeing my Zotero screen? And
Yes.
if you use Zotero as your reference manager, just give me a thumbs up. You don't have to talk, but just give me a thumbs up if you use Zotero. Okay, kindly just give me a thumbs up if you are using Zotero as your reference manager, or if you are using any reference manager. The RIS file can always be used on any reference management tool. So if you are using, let's say if you are using Mendeley, if you are using EndNote, if you are using Zotero, US Manager will extract it. I'm not training on how to use Zotero today because you can figure that out. But then I'm saying we have exported our library as a RIS file and it is on our desktop. How then do we use it? You can always bring here and create. Let's say we are creating a new collection. So let's say we give it a name. So let's say JKUAT. I'm just giving a name. So the new collection that we have brought. So what we do here, we are going to bring how do you call it? We are going to bring papers into this collection here, and my screen, something is on my screen. Okay. So we want to. We are how do you say? We are adding papers. We are adding why is it that I'm not finding this? Okay. Okay, we are bringing papers here. So what you do, just click on file. We are clicking on file and then we import. So where are we importing from? Of course, we had our RIS file. So we are importing. When you click on next, it will allow you to import. Where do you want to import it from? We had a RIS file, don't forget. The RIS file is on our desktop. Let us just look for it. And it's called export. Sorry. So this is the RIS file that we are importing. Once you locate it, just import. Then next, it will import. So it is importing our RIS file. Is somebody seeing my screen? Joyce, my screen? Are you seeing my importing? My Mendeley
Yes,
importing?
yes, we can see.
Thank you. So we are importing our RIS file that we had exported from our Scholarcy library into Zotero, because from there we can now use it to create bibliographies. We can now use it to create our, to cite as we write. We finish here. So we have already brought our papers here. You see the papers that we created as a RIS file. Now our RIS file has now been extracted into the papers, the different papers. Now, if you are somebody who uses Zotero for citation, you know how you can use this to cite. So when you are writing your paper, you can always cite as you move. As I said, I'm not here today to teach you how to use Zotero. That could be on a different platform. But then let us click on this first paper. Okay, when you click on this first paper, you see you can still find the summaries even in Zotero. Each paper has all these summaries. We have just done the first, so it has the objectives. When you click on it, on the left side, you will see on the right. If you click on highlights, you can still get the highlights on the right. You see, this is under highlights. So C is highlights. So C1 is like the first part of highlights, C3, C2, C3. Then under findings, you can still find finding 1, the most important, finding 2, finding 3, just like that. So it's still the same thing, but then you can now read it in a more refined way on the right side pane that you are seeing there. And you can now use this. If you are using Zotero, you know how when you are writing, you can cite and then insert bibliography as you write. I think for me, I will end it here. And my challenge to you is it's not possible, of course, for me to make you become a guru of Scholarcy in just 30 minutes. I will allow maybe if Emma is here to say a word or two, and then Joy will direct us on if somebody wants to get this powerful tool, what arrangements have they made with Scholarcy so that scholars in Africa and in JKUAT, for example, whoever is now in this meeting can be able to access and use this powerful tool. I will end it here. My call again to you is try as much as you can to get the premium version so that you can be able to use it. This is going to simplify your work. This is going to make your work a bit more simple. I'm not saying this is going to make your journey 100% free, but you know it's going to make it simply slightly easier. Maybe Emma wants to add something. Maybe there's something I forgot, so you can also add a few things, and then Joy will take us from there. Thank you so much. If there are questions, we are here. Joy is here, Emma is here, and I'm here. We are able to address them. Thank you.
Thanks, Nicholas. I just very quickly, thanks for that great presentation. I just quickly wanted to share, I've shared the link in the chat, but anyone can try out the Scholarcy functionality using this article summarizer. So you can, if you just go to article-summarizer.scholarcy.com, then you can paste the URL to an open access article or upload a document in any format or paste text. And that's going to generate what Nicholas has been taking you through, which is this Scholarcy flashcard. So you can do that for free with up to 3 papers a day. I think Joy's going to talk a little bit more about pricing for the premium service, but I also just wanted to add very briefly, and sorry if I missed this, Nicholas, but you can also search for papers within the open access platform. So that's the biggest repository of open access research papers in the world, and you can search that platform directly from within Scholarcy. So I just typed into my search bar aquaponics and hit this little internet icon here, and it's returned all of these papers. So in fact, there's 351 pages of results, but you can see all of the open access papers here, and you can just click on those and import those straight into your library. And lastly, I just wanted to share that we've got this new user guide. So this takes you through step by step using Scholarcy and all the features that Nicholas has shared today. And I've dropped that in the chat as well. So that's it from me. Over to you, Joy.
Okay. Thank you, Emma. I think we lost you for a second, but number one, with what Emma was taking you through, two things, you can have access to this solution. Number two, remember the pricing for Africa has been drastically reduced for researchers so that you use it when you need it. You're looking at $4.99, about $5. So you're looking at about 600 bob per month on when you need to use it. Remember, you use it when you're writing. Okay, so target maybe 3 or 4 months. This also helps you manage yourself so that you can have the breadth of solutions that you have. But then there's the free version where you only have access to 3 papers per day, which you can start with before you start expanding on having all these other papers that you need. I hope we've been helpful. Our objective is to help researchers to have access to solutions that they can use to improve their research visibility and also write their papers. You're going to get the recording as well. And I truly, truly hope this is the beginning of many. We saw over 1,300 registered, and we had only put a limit of 500. So don't worry, all the 1,000 are going to get a recording of this session. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, and also with the JKUAT leadership team, thank you so much. Just a
minute.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we take some questions.
What Nicholas has said is very important. Maybe the university can make an organization and partner with the Scholarcy. Scholarcy, I see, is very important, such that we can get a link. You know, when they subscribe, it becomes easier for all the students. It is an equalizer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that is something we'll have to discuss with Professor Tirop and the leadership on this, because it's definitely going to support the academic community. But this was, as I said, it was the beginning of a series of activities that we are sharing with you, and we are more than happy to engage with all of you so that we can see how we can best support you. So once again, there are quite a number of questions. There's so much we can answer.
Professor Tirop has something to say.
No, we are not yet winding up. I think they are winding up their part.
Yes.
For the rest of us, I think we can stay a little bit. If there is any question from the floor, then we ask you guys to ask. There's Joy. I think we really appreciate the effort you've put.
You're welcome.
It's the beginning. I think we should be having these sessions every month, maybe the beginning of the month, so that we are at par. But in the meantime, I want to ask you students if you have any question that you'd want to ask regarding the issues that we've just been taken through, scientific writing and other components. Please, let's take 3 questions, then we move on. Don't go away. I still have a few things to say.
Thanks. I request to do the first question. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am the one speaking.
Good, go ahead. And then after that, I'll have Margaret James.
Okay.
Go ahead,
so I'm raising my hand to ask a question based on my previous experience with these AI tools. I haven't used Scholarcy, but I've used a few others. There's a similar software called Elicit. It's actually totally free, but it doesn't have the export function. But I've tried that one out. Now, my experience with it was that it sometimes will mess the accuracy of the summary. So if you rely on the summary, I'm talking about Elicit, the one I've used, it will mess the accuracy. So if you rely on the summary only, sometimes you might end up picking conclusions or findings out of context. So you cite them in your paper, but sometimes you really are doing that out of context. I don't know, from your experience with Scholarcy, does it have similar challenges? Is there any cause for alarm when someone is trusting the summaries? Because we have had these concerns with the AI sometimes. Basically, it lacks that function of a human mind of judging context. Like if you try ChatGPT, for instance, it will give you findings that are not necessarily very accurate, but they're useful. So is there such a cause for alarm with Scholarcy?
Good.
Yeah, so I'm happy to take that question, Britton. It's a good question, and it's, you know, we often get asked this. So one thing to say is that the contents of the summary flashcard that you saw that Nicholas showed, Sorry, if everyone could just mute, there's a bit of background noise. If you could mute.
Ogla, could you please mute yourself? We are going to. We've muted him, sorry.
Great, thanks. So everything you see, the contents of the summary flashcard are extracted directly from the original text. So we use extractive summarization. So in other words, we're not rewriting, we're not paraphrasing any of the contents of the summary flashcard. We do have an enhanced summary now. So if you go into the Scholarcy summary, we've enhanced that with a couple of external engines, and they will take the structured summary and turn it into more of an easy to read narrative summary. But the core point is that everything you see within the flashcard has been extracted directly from the original text. So unlike ChatGPT and other generative AI tools, it's not that there's no risk that it's making something up or hallucinating. But I mean, do try it out. We're reliant on our users to give us ongoing feedback, and we're continually working to improve the summarization engine. So we do rely on you to let us know, you know, when things aren't exactly as you would expect them to be.
Thank you so much.
I'll go next. So for some people who have already started their research, and for me, for example, I'm using the mentally referencing tool, and I've already gotten my papers there and arranged them in folders depending on the kind of topics that I'm dealing with. Is it possible to export, to import papers from Mendeley to Scholarcy, or is just one way? It cannot be the reverse way. Is that possible?
So at the moment, we've just introduced a new integration with Zotero. So you can, if you have the Zotero web library, you can pull papers directly into Scholarcy that way. We don't have that same integration with Mendeley at the moment, but I'll certainly take that back. And one thing that you can do is export a RIS or a BibTeX file from Mendeley. So just export the reference file from Mendeley of all your papers, and then you can import that into Scholarcy, and it'll generate summary flashcards from the articles in your reference list.
Okay, thank you.
Prof, you're muted. Unmute.
Enoch Rono, sorry. And then, yeah, go ahead.
My question is to Dr. Joy. I was just requesting just an example from marketing publication or journal, because I tried searching and I hit at dead end. Just a brief example for marketing publication or journal. Thank you.
Yeah, Joy is asking for a journal that is in the area of marketing that is probably high impact. Rono, is that a question?
Yes, it is. That's the question.
Joy, are you still there? TCC Africa. Emma, would you want to take that on behalf of Joy?
Nicholas should take that.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah,
Nicholas.
Okay. Yes, I am here. I didn't know Joy would be, but I'll take it. It's a bit of an ambush, but I'll find a way. So let me see.
You can share with him. You can share with him. You can share with him. Rono, okay, you are going there.
Okay. Colleagues, allow me to step out as Mr. Weda, and colleagues, allow me to step out as I allow Mr. Weda and Mr. Outa to close the session as well. Thank you so much for your support. Mr. Weda, Mr. Outa, and Miss Emma Jones can help answer the remaining questions. Thank you all for now.
Thank you, Joy. We really appreciate it. We'll get in touch after this. We will continue
Absolutely.
for a little while.
Okay, then. Bye for now. Harrison, Dr. Uta, and Emma, please support the.
Thank you so much. I think there was a question. Somebody was asking if we could give a demonstration on if, how do we get, because the example that was given was about agriculture. So somebody wanted to see in the field of business and marketing, is it still possible for us to get, specific journals or possible journals of high impact? I will demonstrate this, but also I think pretty much the site is not very difficult to deal with. You can always try playing around with keywords. Let me just go here. I hope I will be able to access. Okay, let me just stop sharing this. Let me share the right one. I was still a bit not prepared for this, so you will bear with me. Okay. So let us, I'll go through, okay. Now I have the right space. Is it this one? Okay, let me see. This is, I'll just log in so that I can be able to, I think this is also for the benefit of those who did not see. Once you are on Research for Life, you can always, where am I getting this from? Okay. Okay. I will I'm trying to figure out because okay. I hope, are you seeing my screen now? Are you seeing where we have the Research for Life?
Yes. Yeah, we can see.
Yes.
So on Research for Life, you can always go to dimensions. I think Joy already demonstrated how we get to dimensions. Are you seeing dimensions or you are still on Research for Life? I always want to confirm because sometimes Zoom, when you share, it opens another window and then it remains on the other window.
You can see dimensions.
So you're seeing the publication. You are seeing publications, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so if you are seeing publications, one of the things that Joy had started by saying is we could go by research organization. We could start by, let's say we go by country. So let's go to Kenya, territory or country. Let's start with Kenya here. We will just type Kenya. And then we will limit to Kenya. Let me just type that again. So we have Kenya, then my computer is a bit slow, I think, because I'm sharing my screen. So, okay, now we are in Kenya, but then we want, which university are we talking? Oh, no, this is not. Okay, Kenya. Then we are looking at the research organization here. Let's just search again. Let's just look for JKUAT. We are limiting this to JKUAT. So I think this, Joy had taken us through this. We have, oh no, these are the papers that are in JKUAT and these are the publications. So somebody was asking about what? Somebody was asking about the field of, which field are you asking about?
Marketing. Marketing.
So the other way that you can do this is you can go under research categories. Are you seeing research categories on the left?
Yes, I can.
Then you can check under fields of research. This is part of how you can easily refine your search by starting from there. So under fields of research, you can check where does my field really fall? You know, the papers or the journals I'm thinking about. I don't know why it is a bit too slow here today, but okay. So under fields of research, where does it fall, your field of research? Let's start from there. Is it under economics? Is it under, which one? There are so many here.
Business.
We have commerce, all this. Are you seeing this? We have commerce, management, tourism. Then under that,
marketing.
Marketing is there.
So let's click on marketing. Have you seen how we went there?
Yes, I have.
So when we are talking about JKUAT and we are talking about marketing, are you seeing how we are getting there? So we have all these papers that are from JKUAT and in that. Did we really maintain that? Let's just go back to the research organization. I think we lost one of those filters.
Research institution, not country. Yeah, there you go.
Research organization here is JKUAT. Sorry, I didn't anticipate this, so you will bear with me.
Hello.
Okay, so we are now, we limited that to JKUAT, and we are seeing under when we have JKUAT and then we have marketing. So under JKUAT, in marketing, we have 8 publications so far that are really falling directly under marketing. So what you can go and check is, of the papers that have been published here, one is we talked about who has been funding research, but we can also talk about researchers. So which researchers from JKUAT have been publishing a bit on things about marketing. We have, you maybe you know some of them, maybe not, but it also, so you can find the researchers here. But also, we want to look at the source titles. Where are they publishing? Okay, so when you click on source title, you can easily just find where most of these papers have been published. Food quality and preference, Journal of International, whatever. You see, now you have all of them here. So this gives you an idea of where the people from JKUAT that have been publishing in the area of marketing, where they have been publishing. So I'm giving you the long way of finding possible ways through which you can do this. But then you can go back to your field of research here and add a few other areas so that it's a bit more expanded. But then let us say you can still just come here and search for something. So let's say marketing, but marketing is also a very broad term. So marketing in Kenya, let's say something like that. But then we had also summarized it down to, so then we now have a bit more other papers. No, we are down to 7 from 8. But I hope you get the idea of how you can go through the research categories and then go through source titles, and then you can now be able to find an idea. Okay?
Yes, thank you. I can see.
I think you've demonstrated that. We go to Margaret Gechaga. Margaret, are you still there? Unmute yourself.
Camry,
yes, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I had a question on the amount that we're supposed to subscribe with. So when I try subscribing, I see it's 9.9, and I heard Joy talk of I think around $5.
Yeah.
So kindly, I'm requesting for a clarification of the same. Is it that I'm using a wrong procedure, or how do you get subsidized?
I don't know whether Emma is still here. If she's not, then I can give a guidance.
Emma, are you still there? She's gone with Joy.
What I will say, I will ask you to reach out to TCC. Harrison will give the email address. Just reach out to TCC, and also I think the university also says to find a way of how this can now be available. They will get some arrangements so that this can be available to researchers in this, but also reach out to TCC so that TCC will be able to guide you on the budgeting. About $6, $4, that will be able to be done. But kindly reach out to TCC. There is an email. Harrison is sharing the email.
Thank you so much.
Good. Any other question? The last one, then we.
Hello, Director.
Yes, librarian.
Yeah, I've been quiet, but actually chatting a lot on the chat box.
I
want to make an announcement that in the library website, we have actually created a link to dimensions. So we encourage everybody to make full use of that. It will allow you to access while you are using the university, the network. The research for life, once you click, it takes you there. You should be able to access the journals under the dimensions, and you can choose where to publish. And in case you have any challenge, please consult us. We are readily available. Thank you.
The same link is also available at the graduate school website, sub-website of the JKUAT. So please do that. Julian was asking that she has an email and she was not able. Please go through the library, go through the graduate school, and you have a dimension somewhere and you'll be able to access. Good. Any other questions? Zakaria, karaoke, anything? I want to probably now go home to the things that we need to discuss about ourselves. But before we leave, probably I need 2 slides presentation. Next time, in a month's time, first week of August, if possible, we will organize, and we would want either the library will discuss with them to present a little bit more detail now on the JKUAT content. We could also ask Dr. Nicholas Outa to give us a presentation on the referencing managers, either reference manager or any other that we would wish to use through TCC. We will communicate to you on that. Let me take the last question if there is any. I'm seeing some hands up.
Yeah, we will be more than willing to support. We will be able to train on reference managers and also maybe other things. So kindly just reach out to TCC. We will be able to support.
Very good. There are 2 participants with their hands up, and I think they were already originally there. Librarian, would you want to say something? Your hand is now in the public chat. But for you students, I think now that we have no questions, I would want probably, I don't know whether I'm able to share my screen, but to remind you of the usual things, that the purpose of this training is to enable you to be able to publish, and not just publish, to publish in a quality, high quality journals. The university is thinking of visibility, enhancing its visibility. And how do we do this? We do this by ensuring that we have you publishing in high impact journals. And in the very near future, we will stick to highly indexed journals. And that is why we are giving you this training. Somebody's.
Is it possible for us maybe to just now drop out? Is it in order, Director?
No, we lost you, Prof. Prof, you're muted. Unmute, please.
I've been speaking to myself, sorry. I didn't know that I was muted. I was speaking to myself. Dr. Uta, I would want to leave. We really appreciated your input. We'll come back to you, but I would want to ask the students to remain. And Mary probably will be with us. They are hosting us. But I was saying that we need now to inform you that the purpose of this training is to ensure that you are able to publish in good journals. Because the university is deliberately putting an effort to ensure that there is enhanced visibility in terms of research output, and it can only happen when you publish in indexed journals. And Joy and the team have been able to show you the difference. And we have a number of journals that are now categorized as predatory that we'll share with you a list. There is a list with us. There is a list that you can even access. One University of Colorado has generated a very long list of those predatory journals. So please be careful with what you are doing, and let's be able to publish in good journals. So what am I telling you that I go back again, the normal requirements that we require from you is that you publish 2 journal articles for PhD, and is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let me just take you through the normal things. Gishaga, could you have your hand down? I cannot. Yeah. So I'm saying the purpose of all this that we are doing today is to ensure that you are able to publish in good journals. And I said for the purpose of this, that we require that you have to present 2 seminars internally. The workshop conferences are very much encouraged. It's part of your academic dissemination, academic growth. We require you to give progress reports, 1 publication for MSc students. And we are saying that we will not be able to allow you to publish in journals that are low or probably not even ranked anywhere. And I said that are referred to as predatory journals. We've generated a list and it's available within the school. You can also just Google and you'll be able to see. And that is why Joy has given you dimension today, so that you would be able to see where others publish. Scopus is a very good, and PubMed and others indexing houses. Please be able to stick to that. For PhDs, 2 publications in good journals. If you would be able to do your work within a given time, then you publish in good journals. Really, you probably don't even need to pay the way we are now paying for these predatory journals. So the other part is the seminars, and I still insist, please ensure that you do. It's not just for formality, it is to add value to your work. So ensure that you do this at the stipulated time. We are requesting schools to have at the end of every semester seminars being a unit for all postgraduate students, so that at the end of every semester, you all will be expected to present. Now, the other thing that I would want to bring to your attention, some of you may have seen our writing where we are saying your proposal is rejected. When your proposals comes to the school, they are supposed to be approved. And sometimes we look at the title, we look at the objectives, we look at the research questions. And this is one thing that I'm also planning to have somebody to train you on it. The title of your proposal is extremely important. It is, of course, something that changes over time. The objectives of your work tells us what you are planning to do. The title should be able to communicate. It's one of the most read component of your work. So when it comes to us, we look at the title first. Then we go to the objectives. Sometimes we look at the research questions. So when you are doing a title, please avoid all these little things that you put to it, that you want to establish relationship between factor A and B. And I've said this severally, that you want just to know for your PhD research, the influence of your moderating factor on something else. For PhD, I would want to see a research that tells us that what are you going to do? What is your research problem? The title should be able to say that. And I should be able to see why your study is that important. I should be able to see how that work is going to be done. And in developing the title, I look at it and I'd want you to look at it this way, that there is a problem that your work is addressing. And I say, what is it that problem is that your work, should be able to see that. I ask myself, why do you have to do that kind of research? I want to see the objects, the how of the doing of the work. Sometimes I want to see how and where the work is supposed to be done. And if you can be able to use this kind of matrix and say at which level, you start from the general of the what, the general of the why, the general of the how, the methodology, and eventually the generality of the where the work is supposed to be done. We will take maybe a session one day on how to develop a proper title for a research proposal. But please think about it that way. And I've given you an example last time when we sat and I said for PhD, for masters, think a little bit bigger. Let's not just do linear regression, multiple linear regression. Even in social sciences, ask ourselves, what is the first component of the work that I'm going to do? And that explains the why, the bigger problem that your work is going to solve. Ask yourself, why is it, what makes it why? What makes it different from existing work? And then ask yourself, what is the methodology? What the how of doing it? Sometimes the where is not very critical. So, and I said, I remember giving you an example. I could be in medical sciences where I'm looking at the virus, say COVID-19. And I'm saying that as a PhD student, I would want to study the ecology of that virus. I would want to study probably even the epidemiology of that virus. And then I would want to study the management of that virus. Can I be able to connect those three? And I could be able to see three compartments, a compartment that deals with the epidemiology, the ecology, and the management of the virus. That is a very good title, because whoever looks at that title sees a student who is going to study the vector or the virus ecology, a student who is going to study the epidemiology, a student that's going to study the management. And in publishing, you have actually completely three different publications on that. If you do this, I should be able to see these in the objectives. So the title should now be fragmented into the objectives. I was looking at one document, one of your documents yesterday, and the objectives are perfectly written, but the title was completely out of place. So always link, and I would probably come to that in future, but they're not now. We have just looked at the journal publication, where to publish. I think Joy and the team has talked about that in length. And this is important. The 21st century graduate, I keep on telling my people, what is the skills? What are the literacies? What are the learnings that we require at this age? Really, we should be able to detect very easily that a certain journal is predatory. We should be able to think critically. We should be collaborative enough. And I've brought this into you many times, collaboration, cross-linking, that my supervisor is, I'm in social sciences, but I get somebody in engineering because my work is slightly related to it. I get somebody as a supervisor in statistics, and that helps a lot. That is what I mean by collaborating. In communicating science, it's an important aspect. So you need to think, we are not really, we are the 21st century, a 21st century. A student should have very good attitudes of things that he's doing, should have the knowledge, should have the skills of doing it. And that is why we are trying to have frequent meetings with you to ensure that you get to know all this and do it the right way. So quality is extremely important. We have to, the library is ready to assist. Our collaborators, TCC, are in place to assist, and many others. So please make use of this time, so that when you are out there with the PhD, with the masters, you will be able to appreciate the training that you've gone through in JKUAT. I would want to stop here, and if you have questions, specific questions to do with JKUAT, library, the graduate school, then please, this is the time. We shall plan to have another session in a month's time, probably the first week of August. And we will have these routine meetings monthly. Good. Any questions I would want to get out of this?
Chair,
librarian, please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think it has been a nice meeting. I want to encourage all our postgraduate students to be making frequent requests, even for trainings. Through their, it could also be through you or through the CODs or the schools. Library is readily, they are very ready to work with you this journey of your studies. And we are now preferring college way if possible. And I have talked to the principals. We are in touch with the principals. They can actually, maybe the deans, coordinate several trainings so that we work with you this journey, because it's not only about publishing that we'll be talking about. We will be talking about citation and referencing tools, like we mentioned the Mendeley, we've mentioned the Zotero. We'll be talking about plagiarism issues. We'll be talking about access to e-resources, because you realize you need to do a lot of literature review to publish. So let's have, perhaps maybe we can work together with the colleges so that we have an almanac, so that it comes out clearly that at this particular time, we always prefer to start with you this journey as you begin, before even you come up with a concept paper for your research, maybe in the middle, and even as you develop your proposal, and we work all this journey with you, so that at the end of the day, you'll not be saying that we never heard about this. Like, for example, JKUAT has got an adopted format for citation and referencing. Are we aware about it, for example? Because we won't want to take you back at the end, at the back end. So we want to start with you. Whatever is recommended, we work that journey with you, and we are readily available. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are grateful that you logged in. Yes.
Thank you, Librarian. Gatambiri Charity is asking about the logbook. The logbooks are supposed to be records of your research activities. Every time you're going to the field, you're supposed to record. Every time you have a meeting with your supervisors, you're supposed to record. It is actually a tool to protect you in case there is an IP issue during your work, so that eventually when you have discovered something or something was discovered, then we could be able to see methodologies that you've recorded in your logbook and say you are actually the inventor, probably not even your supervisor. So that is an important tool that enables you to keep record of your daily activities during your research time. So please make use of it. And keep it. So any other database in the library? Who was this? David Munyere, what were you saying? I'm not able to see your question. Okay.
I'm seeing, Chair, that there's a person who has talked about access to databases in the library. Of course, we subscribe through a consortium, and we have databases that we have purchased or subscribed to. There are others that we may not have purchased. However, while doing your research, you have to tick the box that you only need databases, a journal or articles that you have access to. This one I may not be able to take you through at this particular time, but in case you have a challenge, kindly feel free to write an email to us so that we can see whether it is one of the subscribed or not subscribed, and we can always come back to you. At the moment, right now, we are developing a chat box. We would encourage you, once we make it live, we are coming up with use of artificial intelligence chat box. And whatever questions that we have, already I believe we'll be rolling out this project very soon. So we'll be having like real-time communication with the library as we go along this journey together. But feel free to send an email. We are using social media. We have the Twitter and the Facebook. Please kindly chat with us. Thank you.
There is somebody who's asking, could we get a list of recommended journals? Difficult for us to recommend all the journals. The dimension that you've been given will be able to show you some of the good journals. Scopus will also be able, if you go there and just choose a subject, you are in economics, then you'll be able to see that. Is a second paper in MSc counted in PhD? Is a second paper in MS? Is it MS counted in PhD? To director. This is Kirui Samuel. Could you be able to clarify that question?
Yes.
Kirui, go ahead.
In masters, you find that it's only one paper that and sometimes you can publish two of them, and there's somehow.
Kirui, you are almost inaudible.
Sorry. Am I better now?
Yeah, no, it's still the same. What's the question again?
If you have two papers in MSc, if one of them can be counted for PhD.
Librarian, I missed to get that. Type, Kirui, please type. And the next one is Julius. There is a question by, there are many now.
Prof, I can help get the question to you.
Yeah, please, Margaret.
Is asking, let's say, for example, you're in masters and you've published two papers, but if for masters is only one that is required, can the other one be used for PhD? That is what he's asking.
No. This is in PhD now. You're doing another research, so it cannot be carried forward. We'll really appreciate if you can do more than one. It's only that the one is the minimum required. So it cannot be carried to your PhD unless, no, it's not. Because now you are starting a new proposal, a new research, and somebody is asking about emails. Please get in touch with Migwi, get in touch with Karaoke. I've sent an email that will sort you out. It's is it a PhD requirement to present a paper in conference before graduate? Not really. It's not a requirement as such, but it's encouraged. Cambridge Graduate School don't have university email that you can be given. You can get from JKUAT when you are registering. Roslyn Mangira contacts are in the website. She will also share. After submission of my proposal to the graduate school, how long will it take to get it takes actually maximum 2 days for proposal to be approved. So immediately it comes here, it is almost on the same day approved or not approved. If it's really taken time, 2 days. So it doesn't take long. There is a standard logbook that is downloadable at the graduate school website. Kimani Wanjeri, please download it there. How do we get linked to the recording? We'll put it on the website, probably both library and the graduate school website, so that Julia Sanari and others will be able to access. Oh, which African journal are recommended? There are there. If you go to Dimensions, they are there. If you go to Scopus, they are there. You'll be able to see that. Contact Dr. Happy. Okay. KGS is which one? Have not received the student emails. If you've not received, get in touch with those 2 people that I mentioned, Migwi and Karaoke, Christine of JKUAT. During the process of your registration, the last stage is your identity card as a student, and at that point, you are given the email. Kindly share the presentation. We'll do that. Cambridge coordinator to submit list of students. Okay, they can do that. They can do that. But I think it's a registration process. You will be able to do that. Mary, please mute yourself, Miombe. Unless you have a question. At what point do we have publication at PhD level? At start, immediately you finish your first objective, publish, and once you've published, bring a copy to us, do your second with your second or third objectives, and we'll be okay. And Titus was briefing, how can I get access to logbook for research? You download from the graduate school website. Please, library, please, what is JKUAT access reference style? APA, librarian, is it APA? There are versions of APA. Which one are we using currently? Librarian, somebody is asking the referencing style.
Yeah, Chair, we're using APA referencing style. Of course, what we have on the library website is the 6th edition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a little bit, yeah.
And we have done an abridged of the same. We've done a summary of the same big document that is there.
Very good, very good. So Gladys, your email is answered. Phyllis,
Yes.
okay. Posters in conferences counted? No, please. Posters and conferences are dissemination. APA referencing style. She has answered. How long does this take? Okay, okay. Hello, Professor. What happens when? If somebody adopts a similar research work done elsewhere but changes its scope, can I, of course, everything, there is now research that is completely uniquely different from everything otherwise. It's always, there is always some similarities, but there must be difference between your work and others. In case of a supervisor publishes a student document as another, that is not allowed. As a student, this is Eunice Mugure. Very good question. She says in some cases, a supervisor publishes a student document as an author. Maybe she wanted to say first author of the document. What should be the student to protect? No, it's always student work. The supervisor could be second, could be last. So please, we will not even accept. When you bring publication that your supervisor is the first author, then it means it's not your publication. You have only contributed to that publication. So you should always, as a student, be the first author of your work. Do we have postgraduate halls, rooms, spaces at JKUAT? We have offices at every school or rooms for postgraduate student work, but accommodation, that's a different issue. Well, what happens when one adapts a similar research work? I think we have answered that. Can somebody be done? Reduce delays, progress reports. Or can something be done to reduce delays of progress reports reaching the graduate school? Please, when you submit, they have to be signed by your dean. We will talk to them, and there's not much we can do about this. Kindly, the issue of thesis taking more than 1 year for student to be called for defense. Mercy Jepkorir, that is a good question. We rely very much on external examiners. And we are trying they're supposed to take 8 weeks to examine a thesis. So who is this? They're supposed to take 8 weeks to examine a thesis, and normally after the 8th week, we make a follow-up. Sometimes you are too many. If you feel that your document has delayed, please just remind us. Call the office and say it is more than 3 weeks. Please, we will be able to tell you. This guitar, let me finish the ones that are in the wall. Kindly say something about call for conference publications. Those are disseminations. We really encourage you. I think it's even school's requirement, not graduate school, your academic schools, but we really encourage you that you disseminate your work through seminars, through workshops, through conferences, and that is important. Suppose one's proposal is rejected and there is need to modify either the title objectives. What happens next when there are approvals already? You don't have to go back. It's really not normally major change that happens that requires you to go for further ethical or QA or NACOSTI approval. For your information again on the issue of Gladys Langat, you are supposed, all of you, to have your research work approved by NACOSTI. You also require ethical approval that is done at the university. We are not yet strictly requiring that you do that, but it is generally required by the Commission for University Education. Emails will be provided. How soon is supposed to be submitted? Intent. Once your proposal, your intent is approved, then you should submit immediately. Once you get that letter that says your intent has been approved, submit your thesis and it will be processed. Somebody is using the 7th edition of APA, the librarian. Librarian, would you want to comment? Somebody is already at the 7th edition. Is that okay?
It is okay. It is okay. What we were trying to avoid is the ones that were earlier than edition 6.
Very good.
But any 6 and above is okay. We
Newer
have no
versions are
problem.
acceptable.
Yes, it is actually.
Eunice was asking if a supervisor is unavailable. Report to us, write through your dean, write through your school and say your school is not available, sick, and request for replacement, and we can look at it. Student logbook is a requirement, that is true. Departmental supervisor should be first orders. No, is the departmental supervisor supposed to be first? It is your work as a student. They are only helping you to develop your work. So you are always the first order. Somebody is using the link provided by website to check on journals. We will, that is Ofurum Ifoma. You are saying, please, some of us here are external participants from other universities. All right, we didn't know that we had external participants from other universities, University of Nairobi or which one? It's okay. Seru approval taking. So this is communication.
University of Port Harcourt, Nigeria.
You're from Nigeria?
Yes, University of Port Harcourt. Somebody shared the link on our platform.
All right. So I think we will, that is fine. We are just answering your questions. It was purely a JKUAT event, probably TCC. We circulated widely until it became international. So
Okay.
sorry for that, but you can listen. You can also you can benchmark with us.
All right, thank you.
Why can we have seminars every month? This is, a school can do that because of numbers. We will not restrict that at all. Plagiarism, 20% should be more than 80. That is, the minimum, the maximum plagiarize or similarities is 20, below 20, 20 and above 20 is not acceptable. What I mean is that there is that after student does presentation and publishes a document, you find your supervisor later publishes the same paper as the other. No. It cannot be published twice. because it is already in the repositories. If they do plagiarism scan, you can only publish second time in predatory journals. So let me just answer your questions. Kindly let us have the kind of session monthly. We will do that every month. Just review reviewers to kindly expedite. We have not much process. That is Francisca Bateau. You say just reviewers to kindly expedite review of papers. This is now the journal. All journals have their own rules and regulations. We have no control of that. You are supposed to present proposal to JKUAT, but my transcript is as part of the attachment is missing. How can your transcript get missing? Please get in touch with your dean. Find out where your transcript is. You must have been, it must be there. If there is really problem, then you can come to us. MBA students from Kisii campus have been waiting to present their concept papers. They'll deal with your director and the dean of school. If there is a problem, come to graduate school. Is a concept paper a must for the old students who are first proposal? This is a school requirement, not the graduate school. It is the teaching school requirement. At what point the 15th month to graduate starts, to graduation starts? At what point the 15th month to graduation? I don't get that. Oscar Barasa? Oscar Barasa, are you there? You are asking at what point the 15th month to graduation starts. For MSc, we want you to do at least 1 year of research. For PhD, 2 years of research. And it starts at the point where your proposal has been approved by your school. My proposal title has to be approved by the supervisor or by BPS. The supervisor guides you. You as a student and the supervisor is the same team. So you develop the proposal together and it comes through the dean. There is a committee of postgraduate studies at the dean's office and they forward to us. The graduate school board also looks at it and approve or disapprove. School of Business should guide us on concept papers. We will please approach the dean and I think there is already guideline. Where do I get the log in details of this research for life? The library. Can we agree that we are at different levels of the orientation? That is true. Juliana Kilo. Can we, okay, spot on. Sometimes we get discouraged from supervisors to an extent. 2 supervisors fail to agree. Many times you feel like giving up. Please don't give up. Be a student and learn from everybody. And if there is really a major challenge, raise it to your school, raise it to the graduate school. This is Phyllis and Joki. Please do that if you could. The other one is Joy. The 1 year research for MSc does begin after the proposed approval of the graduate school. No, it does when the document is approved by your school. That meeting that looks at your proposal after you've presented and defended, there is minutes that are given, we start counting from there. Port Harcourt, we wish you a good day. And we have, he was saying, what was the question from Port Harcourt? Okay, there is an email there. What does it take for over 6 months to get feedback from BPS after submitting thesis? Why does it take over 6 months? The problem is that we have external examiners that do mark the thesis. So people, we are dealing with human beings and they take time sometimes to, because of commitment and other things, to read the thesis. The required time, we give them 8 weeks, but sometimes they take more. After presentation of seminar 1, and they recommend you to align your statements, problem, objective, topic, and you do some small changes. That is allowed. The document changes, unless there is a major change where you have to write to us and tell us your proposal has changed, other things are allowed. At what point do we start filling the logbook? Immediately you start your research work. Progress reports are periodical. So progress, now there is specific information we require from the progress report. The logbooks give details of your research activities. So your logbook is basically being able to record your research activities. There is a lot of chat. I think I'll stop there. Any other burning question? I'll take the three. Judith Gitao, Wekesa, you hold on. Judith Gitao, and then Evans, Odiero, or Odero. Evans, Odero, and Bosire. Any of you can ask. Yeah, Evans.
Thank you so much, Prof, for organizing for this, and we really thank you.
Yeah.
Now, my other request would be, as you have started on sensitizing results on various aspects, you may also help us get to know of any change or any action required early enough, because we find it that is very difficult. Sometimes something has happened to a document, and it takes a long time to get the information from the department. So if you have a platform or a way of organizing so that we get the information early enough, we shall really appreciate.
Very good, that is important. That's important. Odero will do that. Evelyn Bosire.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you so much. Thank you for the training. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you for the training. It has been a very good insight. My question is, when we submit thesis and it takes long, and then we are scared of these changes that keep popping up. Because I remember, like in my case, my documents went to BPS, I think in 2021, and there was a rejection because we had to do the conference and the seminars, which we did. And now it's 10 months down the line. What happens?
Evelyn, I think I understood your case. We have one document still supposed to be submitted today. I understand your case. Your document was supposed to be submitted today. We'll make a follow-up.
Thank you, Prof. I'll appreciate so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah. We've been trying. We are dealing with human beings, and you will be able to work. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Prof, for this opportunity. I had a question. For instance, if a master student has done a project and it is more of the master's project, like it qualified to be a PhD project, will there be any options of awarding the students a PhD, or it will be just a master's degree? Thank you.
Wekesa, I got distracted a little bit by a question online. Could you ask again?
I'm saying, for instance, if there is a master student who has done his project, but the extent at which the project is can be qualified to be a PhD. He or she be qualified to be awarded a PhD, or it's just still with their masters?
We have a very good question. We have that in our statute where we could upgrade, but we have never done. But there is possibility, but we've never done. There is an input in our statute where we talk about somebody could upgrade from MSc, but it's never, we don't have a practice of doing that. So we still award you a good MSc, we just award you good grades, and that will be it. In future, for all of you, very soon, before I go to somebody, Alicia, let me mute her. We will be assessing when you are doing your defense. We will be assessing, and I think I mentioned this during the presentation of your work here. Now that there are a lot of tools that would assist you to do the work. We would want to see your mastery of the research that you are presenting. So when you come to the presentation here very soon, probably we will communicate once we start. Then we'll be marking not just a unanimous decision, we will be awarding you grades. And thereafter, we are planning to provide a second transcript that is purely the research transcript, the thesis transcript. Momanyi, your hand is still up? We are planning to stop at 1, so we still have 10 minutes.
Yes.
Any other question?
No.
Good.
Yeah, I have a question. I'm trying to retrieve my JKUAT email.
Yeah.
And I've gone to the JKUAT website, activate email. I've sent my admission number.
Yeah.
But I don't know where this email is going. The email is going to be sent to, because there is no place maybe where you're using the normal email. Maybe you can receive it from there.
I'll find out from Karaoke how the email, whether it's directly activated or them to activate for you. Normally during the process of registration, you go through that office for your ID, and at the same time, they facilitate for your email.
Yeah, I had it only that I've forgotten because it has been a while.
Get in touch with Karaoke.
Okay.
Yeah. And then any other question? There was somebody with a hand up. I'm told we are many with other, I think probably TCC shared the link with other universities, but else it was, we appreciate your participation. It was purely meant for JKUAT students. We had purposely requested, and we had a session before with them, and there was demand from that session that we give them a little bit more time. Any other question? There was somebody, which is the recommended plagiarism tool that we are using. The slides will be posted on the website. There will be a download. It's really just an addition of what we had earlier.
Yeah, Chair,
Yes.
I could actually respond to that.
Please.
Currently, we are using what we call a plagiarism detector. It has got a JKUAT log. What do we call it?
Logo, yeah?
Yeah, so in every school, I believe where you are, you belong to a particular school of JKUAT. So every school, we have installed that software. And whenever you want to self-test your work, you need to approach your head of department. And they will be able to take you through. The administrators are managing that software. But we are working on coming up with more licenses and even adopting the Turnitin if resources allow very soon, because that proposal has gone for discussion. Thank you.
Any other question? We still have about slightly less than 10 minutes.
Hello, Professor.
Catherine Jerry has her hand up. If I go, hold on, Catherine.
Yes, thank you very much for this opportunity. My question is, some of us registered in satellite campuses, and that we did not get emails.
Yeah, please
So
make a point of getting an official university email so that you can benefit from library.
okay, do we do that from the campuses or from the mail?
Approach the campuses. Most likely they will refer you to the main campus.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to mention that even the plagiarism detector we have in all our campuses. So we have installed in all our campuses the detector, and you consult with the library or the administrator of that campus. They'll be able to assist you.
Go, you had a question?
Yeah, thanks, Professor. I had a question on submission of progress report. And the issue is, if it takes more than, there are times you can take even more than a year before you make any progress, and you are supposed to report for that particular progress you have done. How do you handle it? Is it just supposed to be like, for instance, if you had taken some time to go and do your research, you had not, to collect data, you had not really had some input to report about. And then maybe it has elapsed, maybe let's take an example of even a year before you did your submission. How do you handle that?
Yeah. Like, even the lack of data is actually progress. You have not been able to acquire some data. What is the importance of this progress report is for us to know that you are not able to generate data. Just as an example, this for us to know specifically where you are in your research. So lack of data, probably failure of experiment is part of the reporting. So it helps us to know where you are. It helps us to know why you do not submit probably progress or data, you do not make progress. And that helps a lot to monitor your progress within the universe, so that when you delay, then we have a reason why you have delayed, because your experiment was affected by the weather. There were probably, you took leave, so that helps. So even if there is no positive results as such, but you will be able to tell us that your experiments failed. And Judith Gitau, we are listening you. I'll mute you. So that is, don't really, it's not that you must have data that you report, but tell us what is happening during the time, that quarter for your research work. William Gatehi and Margaret, Margaret James, are you still having your hand up? Let me take William.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. I'm a student of NCBD, MBA semester, year 2, semester 1. I work for Nyandarua County, but because of my close proximity to Nakuru County, to Nakuru campus, I normally take my exams from Nakuru campus. I've had challenges trying to get results. I always get them much later, maybe 1.5 months after the rest have got their results, because my results have to be transmitted from Nakuru campus to NCBD. But nevertheless, I'm now on my final semester. But the question I'm posing is, in terms of the project, can I get my supervisors from Nakuru campus? Because again, if it's going to be at NCBD Nairobi, it's going to be very difficult for me to follow up. And therefore, I'm asking, is it possible for me to be allocated supervisors from Nakuru campus? Pretty much the same way I take my exams from Nakuru campus. Thank you.
I don't think, William, that's not an issue. You pick your supervisors who will be allocated by the school. It didn't really matter where they come from, provided one of them is a JKUAT supervisor. So don't worry about that. We have Margaret Jones.
Thank you, Dr.
Yeah. So I had 2 suggestions. I did my master's in JKUAT and now I'm doing my PhD there. But during my master's, when I was supposed to check the plagiarism report in the department, the only person who knew how to run it wasn't there. So my first suggestion would be, can we have more than one person in the department who know how to operate that? Because when I went to the library, there was this kind of attitude that you have these people in your department, but then the department now there's a problem. So if we can have that done, most of these processes, sometimes you might have done the research so well, but some of these last stages are so cumbersome that they really take someone really down in terms of even encouragement to continue with their PhD or anything. And number 2, when I was submitting my progress report, when I was checking my progress report, my intent was rejected because that progress report was missing. I went through it, I finally submitted it, and then like on a Thursday, and when I came back on Monday, in the same office, they had lost my document. So I had to go through the process again. And I found that really serious. Like, how can that file be lost? It was just on a Thursday, and on a Monday it's lost. And then they just requested me to follow up whether I can find another. They were really apologetic on their side, but I'm just wondering, because I'm not the first person who has talked about losing documents, especially in the BPS office. I hope this can be really, I don't know, how can that be corrected or how can that be changed? Because I've had so many complaints of people losing documents.
I'm hearing it for the first time. We hardly have not heard of any document being lost. But we apologize for that, and it should never happen. We have everybody's file, and once you bring your document, it should directly go to the file. Whoever may have misplaced, I think that's not an acceptable excuse. So we apologize.
So if
if it is a document coming, it should go to the file, and we cannot have an excuse why it's not traceable.
Okay.
So you're not expected. Once let us know. Yes, somebody wanted to speak.
Yeah, Chair, on that note, I'm wondering whether when the students are submitting their documents to postgraduate, do they have a document that they are signing so that in case of these issues, we will be able, I mean, it is possible to know who actually received it and who misplaced it.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be a way forward.
That is true.
Who was the person speaking? Was it Catherine or the person whose document was lost? Are you still there?
Me. Yes.
Did you sign in when you brought?
I did not. And
No. What
and
was it? Was it a progress report or your intention?
It was the last progress report so that they can release my intent.
No, but it comes through the school. It's delivered by the secretary of the school.
Yes.
Because
but then after the delivery, when I was following, now DPS made it seem as though it was me who had lost it. So I went back to the school. The school comes and complains that they actually brought the document. So there was a lot of back and forth, and we didn't know who was the problem. So maybe having a place actually to sign, and because now when you come claim them, you don't have any evidence to show that you actually submitted it or something.
When they bring with a delivery book, and when they received, they sign the book from the other end where it's being received. So there is evidence.
Okay.
That one we'll address.
Okay.
There is somebody, Mwandikwa Mutia.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Mine is a question. It's about the presentations. I'm a PhD student from Karen, and I just want to find out when are we? Is there a schedule for presentations, for proposals, concepts? Because it's taken so long. We don't seem to have a schedule, and when is it being held, so that at least we can plan ourselves.
Which school are you?
Karen.
Okay.
Business.
And which degree you are taking?
PhD strategic management.
Strategic management should be in School of Business. Yeah, there should be a schedule. We are trying to advocate that we do monthly. No, we do semester-wise seminars. But I will now need to find out what the other schools are doing. But that is the practice, is that every end of the semester, postgraduate students are supposed to give seminars on their progress. So let me find out from Karen. I have no idea.
We're quite a number.
Yeah, we'll address that.
Okay.
Good. Any other? We have 3 minutes. Yeah, okay, then I think
Sorry, Prof. Hello, Prof. My name is Pauline. I guess I was in your office last week. I appreciate this. I've learned a lot from this session. So we were to make a conclusion on some of these master's student MSc who had already published their articles before the criteria for determining the websites or the publishing sites that are not predatory. So
there may be some of you who are directed by the schools to publish in some journals that now we are categorizing as predatory.
Yes.
We are looking case by case on those issues, but if there was evidence that you and your school had directed you to publish in those journals, then at the point we will probably take the blame and accept. But please, all of you, try to make sure that you learn how to publish, and you only learn how to publish if you publish in very good journals, because the review process is good. You get very good comments. You learn a lot through the process that you go. These are the cheap journals where you pay a lot of money within 1 week, then there's no comment, there is nothing. That rejection that you get in those good journals makes you learn a lot on how to publish. So we will probably have a session later in the process on where and how to publish, and your supervisors should also be able to help you on that. We are considering that Wazoo. Pauline will consider those. I have a few that are there, and I'll consider particularly for those that have letters from the school that indicate the list of journals that we are now rejecting being or recommending that you publish there. Good. I think we are coming to an end. Any other burning comment? Momanyi, is your hand still up, or you did not lower your hand from the beginning? Librarian, do you have to say something, closing remark?
I just want to maybe give a caution to on where we publish, as we need to take it very seriously, because I know we use our objectives to publish maybe a particular paper. And if we publish in a wrong place, I can assure you for free that you'll not retrieve that paper. You'll be required to come up with another item to publish. So let's be careful and let's always consult, but let's use the dimension. The databases that are there are all indexed, and we are assuring you that they are not plagiarized. They are not predatory journals. Thank you so much, but we'll continue interacting.
Thank you, thank you. Don't waste your data. I think I'm just beefing up what the librarian has said. Don't waste your data by publishing in those cheap journals, because once you do, then if you do want to publish in good journals, it will be very difficult for you again to publish, because that work is detected as published elsewhere. But of course, those journals may not want to know whether it is a good journal or a bad journal. TCC, Mary and the group, do you want to say something before we close?
No, thank you. It has been a very informative session.
Joy is back. Joy is back.
Yeah, it has been yes, I'm back. I had 2 other trainings, so I was doing them back to back. So thank you so much.
We are sorry we didn't know that we were full house. We realized we have people from Nairobi and other universities, even from Nigeria. We were doing in-house business, but we realized we were many.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. But thank you so much. You are over 1,300 who registered. You're all going to get the recording of the session. I truly thank you for your support, Dr. Marinira, Professor Turop. You've really been pushing for this, and this is the first of a series of trainings that you're all going to get. Thank you all, and do have a lovely day for now. Bye.
Thank you, Joy. Joy, we are proposing, probably we'll get in touch in August, probably August 11th or 18th, whether we could have something on referencing, where
Not a problem.
Yeah, we had spoken to Nicholas Otter.
Yes.
And we said probably we can pick one, either reference manager or whatever the students would like. And we are saying either we will decide with you whether it will be 11th or 18th of August.
Not a problem, sir. We're on standby to support.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye for now.
On my behalf and the behalf, I think they may require we open our cameras, and on behalf of JKUAT and the graduate school, I appreciate all of you, specifically for TCC to become a very relevant partner. And I insist again, the purpose of this is for us to be able to enhance quality of our graduate training. So please take it positive. Let's open cameras for TCC to take up photo. They may require that for their own records.
Absolutely.
Yeah, open up your cameras. Open up your cameras. We want to see your faces.
Okay, let me just save the first part.
Yeah, there are many. Yeah, we need to slide to the next page. Yeah?
I know there's quite a number of you.
Yeah, we have actually been limited by the 500 limit.
Yeah, we are so used to, you get the 500 and you're not so sure that all of them will come. So
I was expecting probably 2,000, because many of them are complaining directly to me that they're not able to access. They do not register. They wanted to access directly.
It's okay. We are going to, it's not a problem. We are going to.
Okay, guys, good afternoon. It's already afternoon.
Yes.
And
good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Thank you so much. Nice time.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Prof.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Bye, goodbye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 My camera, but bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.